600-mile-per-hour jet car screaming down the track can only be topped by a salute to our troops.
And the spectacular fireworks display choreographed to inspirational and patriotic music. The Family Festival begins at 3 p.m. with rides, inflatables, games, and contests for the kids.
And, of course, exciting drag racing throughout the day.
This year, the live musical entertainment includes a battle of the bands, all competing for a chance to open for Christian superstars Skillet at this year's Heaven Fest. Celebrate America's birthday with KLZ at the 2015 Jet Car Nationals and Family Festival, Saturday, the 4th of July at Bandimere Speedway in Morrison. Make sure you stop by the KLZ booth and say hi. To buy tickets and for parking information, go to bandimere.com. It's the 2015 Brakes Plus Jet Car Nationals and Family Festival on the 4th of July at Bandimere. Don't miss it.
KLZ AM 560, KLZ HD Denver. Listen live at KLZ560radio.com. KLZ 560, a Crawford Broadcasting God and Country station.
It's a mighty fancy automobile. Oh, she's a real road king, all right. 0 to 60 in 7.5. She'll do a quarter of a mile, 13.40. 390 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque. Whatever that is. Performance and image, that's what it's all about.
There's no such thing as a stupid question. This is Drive Radio. All of your automotive questions are just one phone call away. 303-477-5600. Drive Radio is made possible by the member shops of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers. To find one near you, go to drive-radio.com. Now, Drive Radio on KLZ 560.
And it is Drive Radio. John Rush, your host, KLZ 560. Jeff Kitty from Larry's Automotive and Transmission is also with me. And Larry Unger, also from Larry's Automotive and Transmission, is, of course, always our producer and answers the phones and gets things geared up and ready to go. Lines are open. Call us early because it builds through the day. 303-477-5600 is our phone number. And several things going on today. Let's make some announcements and get some things out of the way. So first of all, good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, John. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining us. And right off the bat, I'll just give everybody a little preview of next Saturday. Being the 4th of July, this show will be recorded today and played again next 4th of July, or this coming 4th of July. So it will be this week and next week. So if it's the 4th of July and you're listening, this is a pre-recorded show and you can't call in.
Yep.
But today it's not, and we'd love to hear from you. 303-477-5600. Going on next Saturday, the 4th, you just heard the advertisement for it just a moment ago here on KLZ, is the Jet Car Nationals and Family Festival out at Bandimere Speedway. KLZ is actually a part of that. We have tickets today that we're going to give away throughout the show.
Fantastic.
So Larry is working on some questions right now as we speak to figure out what question we ask, and whoever gets the right answer, we will give these away. I actually am holding in my hand 12 tickets. The thought being we'll give 4 of these away per hour.
Sounds like a plan.
So does that work? 4, 8, 12? And then listen through the week on Rush to Reason, because I think I may have some leftover tickets. We're giving some tickets away also out at the Western Conservative Summit this weekend. And depending upon how many tickets I have left, we'll actually give some of those away during this next week on Rush to Reason also.
Fantastic.
So it'll be fun. And yeah, I ended up with, believe it or not, 100 tickets to give away. So I may have some leftovers. And depending upon how many I think I'll have left over, I might give a few more than the 12 away today. But we'll see how that works. Most importantly, go out there and have some good family fun on the 4th of July. It'll be a blast.
Fantastic place.
It really is. It's fun. The fireworks are fantastic. The jet cars are really cool. If you've never seen a jet car roll down the racetrack, you really need to see that. Gates open at 8. I think the show starts at 3. There's all kinds of cool stuff that goes on all throughout the day. All right, one last thing I want to get in here before we get going is we have a brand new sponsor to Drive Radio. And this is going to probably come as a surprise to some folks because it's not an automotive facility.
Oh, my God.
We have a veterinarian clinic that's actually now joining us as a sponsor to Rush to Read or to Drive Radio. They've been a great long-time listener of Drive Radio, a big supporter, and it's Dr. Bill and his wife Nancy Moyle. They are the owners of Lone Tree Veterinarian. Am I saying that right? Veterinary.
Yeah.
Make me say that right. Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Clinic. The phone number there is 303-708-8050. They're located at 8681 East Lincoln Avenue in Lone Tree. And I toured that facility a few weeks ago, and I will tell you what, it's top notch. I mean,
Fantastic.
it is top notch. Boarding facilities, dog training facilities. They do cats and dogs as far as the animals they work on. A full surgery center. They do their lab work on site. They send some stuff off, but a lot of things they do on site, including x-rays, MRIs. They've got a therapy pool for dogs that actually need therapy, in the water itself. Yeah. They've got a retail area where you can get prescription dog food, trinkets, things for your pets. I mean, it's just an awesome, awesome facility. They've done a fantastic job. I'll talk more about them throughout the day, but they're certified by the American Animal Hospital Association, and they recently earned their 3rd annual Gold Star rating with the Better Business Bureau. So if you need anything at all for your pet, literally anything, and they really specialize in dogs. And a lot of you that are listening right now, you're big dog lovers, and I am one of those. Yeah. I am you, okay?
Me too. 3 of them.
I'm one of you, exactly. So if you need anything at all for your pet, it's LoneTreeVet.com. That's the website. You can actually visit them on Facebook also at Lone Tree Veterinarian Medical Center. And again, the phone number is 303-708-8050. So it just goes to show you that we touch a lot of different areas, not just cars. And her thought, Nancy's really thought was, listen, a lot of people put their animals in the car, and we're going to do some things here in the near future with her and her husband, teaching people how to properly transport your pet.
Exactly.
Because in a lot of cases, that's not done the way it should be, and it's harmful to both you and your pet.
And unsafe.
And unsafe, exactly. So we'll get into more of that as the show goes on today. But Lone Tree Veterinarian Medical Center, 303-708-8050. Let's go to Jerry up in Greeley, who's next. Jerry, welcome.
Morning.
Good morning, Jerry.
A friend of mine has a 78 F-250 that he says over the past few months it's intermittently started briefly stalling on him, sometimes at highway cruising speeds, sometimes stopped at idle.
Okay.
And he says it feels to him as if it's just running out of fuel briefly.
And it very well could be.
Could be, yeah.
Okay, well, and my guess is I was kind of thinking maybe debris in the fuel tanks clogging the pickup, or a faulty fuel pump, or a sticky needle valve at the float bowl inlet.
It's more than likely vapor locking.
Well, and that was a possibility I considered also. I even loaned him a little infrared thermometer to, look around and try to figure out what's happening there. But he says his observations are that he doesn't think it's temperature related. But
does it only do it when it's hot, or does it do it when it's cold?
Well, I guess, it hasn't been real cold for a while, but I guess hot and warm ambient temperature.
Yeah. It doesn't take a lot, believe it or not, to get a vapor lock condition, especially on the older vehicles. I mean, you can be in the 70s and still have a vapor lock situation. I've seen them happen even as low as the 50s and 60s, depending upon how hot the engine temperature is, what you're doing, are you pulling a load, things like that.
And especially with the fuels we've got now.
The best way to determine what's going on there would be, and I'm guessing it probably has dual fuel tanks, which makes it a little bit more cumbersome, but to add an auxiliary electric fuel pump to the system to see if you can push past the vapor lock issue would be the first thing to try. I doubt very seriously. It could be, but I doubt very seriously if it's got a pickup problem in the tank or a fuel filter or something along those lines. My gut feeling is it's got a vapor lock problem.
Okay. Well, that sounds perfectly reasonable. Well, that reminds me of another question I was reading.
And by the way, real quick, Jerry, one way he could test that without the thermometer or anything else, the easiest way to test that is when it dies, pull over, pop the air cleaner up, look down inside, see if there's any fuel coming out when he runs the throttle. And if there's not, it's vapor locked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if he's got a question about the fuel filters, that's easy enough too.
Exactly.
He can take them off, blow through them, and if they don't
Put new ones on for that matter. They're cheap.
they're cheap.
They're really cheap.
It's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. Well, that reminds me of another question. I was looking at a manual recently, a glove box manual that said don't use methanol, but I don't really know. What's the difference between methanol and ethanol?
Methanol is very hard to find, and it's what you find in windshield washer solvent and things like that. You won't find methanol in fuel anymore at all, period.
Oh, okay.
It's just not around.
Well, great. Well, thank you, gentlemen.
You betcha, Jerry. Thank you very
Thanks
much
for
for
the phone
calling in. Appreciate it very much. So one of the questions of the day I wanted to ask, so we'll get this thing kicked off, especially for the 4th of July, and it's this. Give us, I should say, us and everybody listening, your best 4th of July memory. We all have them, things that happened in the past, different 4th of Julys. What did you do as a kid? Was it barbecue? Was it fireworks? Was it back when you could shoot your own off? What is your best 4th of July memory? Lines are open, 303-477-5600. Bruno, you're up next.
Thank you.
Good morning, Bruno.
Good morning.
Hey, and it was great to meet you out at Gino's too, by the way.
Yeah, I had lots of fun out there meeting you guys.
It was really great. I really appreciated that, Bruno.
Yeah, especially also Scott Watley. Anyway, a friend of mine helped me jump my car because my battery was dead yesterday in that heat.
Okay.
And I got a new one right away. Anyway, I don't know if he calls in on his own today. He has a 98 Subaru Outback, and his future repairs is going to be having to have the cylinder head gaskets changed, and also something else. Oh, yeah, the brakes done.
Okay.
He just wants to know, in your network, who is the one who is specializing the most on Subarus?
Oh, I don't know if there's anybody in particular that's specializing in, and there's enough of those on the road today now where the majority of our shops, in fact, all of our shops can easily work on a Subaru. So that's not a problem at all. The biggest thing will just be finding out, where he lives or works, who does he want to go to that's close to him, but any of our guys could do that.
Oh, okay. Well, then I might as well send him then to Gino's then.
Yes.
There you go.
Go right ahead. That'd be awesome. Yes.
Because that's the closest
Yep.
to Northwest
Yep.
Cherokee.
If that's closest to him, send him. Yep.
And they'll take care of them.
Yep. They definitely know about that vehicle and can handle that.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, that was a quick.
All right.
By the way, since I had to put a new battery into my 05 Kia Sedona, do I have to reprogram anything on the computers? It drove home okay after I put the new battery in.
You should be fine on that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Just
you should be good.
checking.
Yep. No, you should be fine, Bruno.
Okay.
All right, man. Hey, good talking to you. Happy 4th of July and enjoy your week, Bruno.
Same to you. Likewise.
All right, man.
Thanks for the
Appreciate
call.
it very much. You betcha. Let's go to Jim, I think, is next before we go to our next break, or our first break, I should say. Jim, welcome. What's going on today?
Hi, guys. I have a 2004 Saturn Ion 1, so it's a real basic Saturn.
Got it.
5-speed manual windows, everything. 126,000 miles, so it's very low. The other day, I went out to unlock the car and go for a ride, and the lock was on the driver's side was it wasn't working. I couldn't feel anything. I could twist 180 degrees, so 90 to the left, 90 to the right, and it wasn't unlocking the door. I went over to the other front door, same thing. So I couldn't get into my car. I had to climb into my trunk to unlock my car. But I've been looking at it. I can't see that somebody has tried to break in through the locks. But I'm just wondering, it's a weird coincidence that both doors, manual doors, would go out at the same time.
It's very coincidental that would happen. That is, in fact, the passenger side going out ever is almost unheard of because it's so rarely used that it's just not, on the rare occasion where somebody, gets in and out of that side, then maybe I could see that. But typically speaking, the driver's door is what's entered first. It's rare to have both of those go out at the same time. Something's had to have happened.
Yeah. So it doesn't look so.
Yeah, but you can't see any Slim Jim marks or anything along those lines where somebody would have maybe knocked off the rods that are going to the lock mechanism.
I can't see any Slim Jims.
And it would be hard because they are so smooth that you really, I mean, you'd have to really be, knowing what, in fact, one way you could look would be to pull back a little bit of that molding that seals up the window and see if you can see any scrub marks, anything, even if it's cleaner there and where it is and the rest of the molding, that would give you a little indication, because it won't scratch or do anything like that.
Okay.
I mean, literally, you will not scratch the glass. The biggest thing would be is that, do you have a 3 or 4 inch area right above that door lock in the weather stripping that's all nice and clean? That would tell you a Slim Jim went up and down there.
Yep.
Okay. So somebody was possibly
And I would, it's too coincidental for you to have lost both of those at the same time to not have it be tampered with.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's, if I remember right, I think there's those little plastic grommets in 2004. They could be hard, and if somebody got a little belligerent with them, they could have popped those apart.
Yeah, I mean, to Jeff's point, when they get that brittle from that, from that long ago, being that age is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't take much to knock those out. When you look at them, you kind of know what I'm talking about, but it doesn't take much to pop those out.
Okay.
I would venture to guess that's what's happened.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, here's the good thing. Fortunately, they were probably brittle enough where it knocked the rod out, and at that point, they had no way of actually getting the vehicle unlocked, and your car ended up being safe. That's the plus side.
Okay. Okay, so it's just a process of pulling the
door panel off.
Yep.
Door panel off and.
Yep, getting inside there and figuring out what's going on with the lock mechanism.
Okay. Cool.
All right, Jim.
Thanks so much, guys.
You're very welcome, buddy. Thanks. Have a great 4th of July, a great week ahead. Kevin in Lakewood, hang tight. You got a transmission question, which, yes, by the way, our resident transmission expert is with us. So if you have any transmission questions at all, today is the day to call. Jeff Kitty from Larry's Automotive and Transmission up in Westminster is with us. So please give us a call today if you've got any specific transmission questions. Otherwise, Kevin, hang tight. We're going to be right back, and give us your best 4th of July memories on Drive Radio. We'll be right back. John Rush, your host, KLZ 560.
We've all been there. You're under the hood and suddenly realize you don't have the parts you need. Or even worse, you don't know what parts you need. Well, at Napa Auto Parts, we have ASE certified parts specialists that'll make sure you find that right part. One covered by a warranty good at any one of 6,000 Napa locations. Yeah, finding the right part might not be easy, but fortunately, finding the right parts store is. Go to NapaOnline.com for the location nearest you. Napa, get the good stuff.
Word of mouth is a great way to find professional references, but choosing an auto technician, it's one of those exceptions, unless that referral comes from another auto technician. Think about that for a moment. A referral from one competitor to another. Every Colorado Select Auto Care Center offers the industry-leading 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on every repair. The dealerships can't even match that. Find a Colorado Select Master Technician near you at coloradoselect.org.
The two most critical and complicated components of your vehicle are the engine and the transmission. The engine makes it run, and the transmission makes it go. Most repair facilities specialize in one or another. Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair does both, and they do both exceptionally well. Their technicians are ASE Master Certified, and the shop is A+ with the BBB, as you'd expect from members of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers. Larry's transmission experts are ATRA certified, so you can be confident that they know your transmission. Larry's is the rare combination of expert auto repair and the area's best transmission specialist. Your repairs are done faster and it's far more cost efficient. Whatever you have under your hood, Larry's has it covered under one roof. Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Call and schedule your special attention KLZ 560 appointment today. 303-427-2108. 303-427-2108.
Reliability. It's what every driver wants from their vehicle. Regardless of make or model, you want your vehicle to take you where you need to go. Reliability is exactly what the Colorado Select Auto Care Centers offer. They've set the standard for excellence in automotive repair and maintenance. Each member offers Napa Auto Care Peace of Mind Warranty, along with the highest level of customer service and integrity. To find a Colorado Select Auto Care Center near you, log on to drive-radio.com or call 303-546-NAPA.
All right, John Rush Drive Radio, KLZ 560, 1019 now on this absolutely gorgeous Saturday morning, heading into the 4th of July week. And here's a question for you. I just determined that between Zach and myself, my producer engineer during the week on my other show, we will double what I'm giving away today. So I had 12. We now have 24. So we're going to save some out of what we're doing at the Western Conservative Summit. So what I will do is this. We're going to give away 8 each hour instead of 4 each hour. Now, here's what I'm going to do. The first one to answer the question, you can pick how many of those 8 tickets you want. And then we'll have somebody else that wins during that hour get the remaining of them. And if each person only wants 2 tickets, well, then we'll just keep going until we give 8 away each hour. So here's the first question. Give me the United States city with the biggest fireworks display on the 4th of July. Okay, so the biggest fireworks display on the 4th of July, give me that answer, and you could win up to 8 tickets, up to 8, to the Jet Car Nationals and the Family Festival at Bandimere Speedway this coming Saturday, or next Saturday, a week from today on the 4th of July. Kevin in Lakewood, you're up next.
Hey, running into a problem with my son. He's got a 2008 Volkswagen Rabbit. Looks like a Golf, but it is labeled as a Rabbit.
Okay.
Got the 2.5 engine and the automatic. He had trouble a couple weeks ago after all the rain. It went into limp mode on him. I got it over to Detroit Trans, and they couldn't find anything the first look because no codes or anything.
Okay.
So sent it on back out, and son drove it a few more days, and then it went back into limp mode on him, but only this time the light stayed on, and we got it back over. They scanned it. Input shaft sensor failed. Well, they got it apart, got the pan off and the valve body out, changed the sensor, put it back on a test drive. It promptly blew this new sensor. So we're trying to figure out what else could be going on. They said the input drum was not cracked. It looked great. All the internals look great, but now we've got failing input shaft sensors.
Jeff?
Boy, that could be, man, that's a tough one. That is a tough one because you just don't have problems with those input sensors.
Yeah,
I would.
Now, one thing to understand: this car does not have the front belly pan shields.
Yeah,
they're gone. So I suspected, as it showed up after rain, that driving in heavy rain, that it could have gotten something wet. But
well, I guess my first deal would be check the sensor itself. If it checks good, then you could have a wiring issue.
Yeah, well, they're in the process of trying to figure out why it blew the second sensor on the first replaced sensor on the test drive. I don't know just where they're at. I just was trying to find out with my son, so I thought I'd put it across with you guys.
Yeah, and they've got a good shop over there. I've known them for years.
Kurt's pretty sharp. He's done a lot
I've dealt with them over the years on some heavy duty stuff. They're good guys.
But I would think that you've either got an electrical issue where something shorted out, especially with all this weather.
Yeah, well, that's kind of where I'm.
Which could have been the first problem.
Yeah,
initially
could have been the first problem, creating another problem. We've run into quite a bit of that with all this weather.
Yeah, fortunately, he hasn't gone through any deep water and any of that kind of stuff like our little flooding of this last week.
Yeah, it was pretty bad here the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially those houses that had 2 feet of water and then got 4.
Oh man, it was bad.
2 weeks later, so
it was bad.
Yep.
But all right. Well, I just thought I'd run it by you because we're texting back and forth trying to discuss what's going on because he's a little frustrated. He's driving one of my vehicles.
I'd be on Jeff's line of thinking and thinking that potentially you've got an electrical issue as much as anything else.
Yeah. Well, we're thinking on the line of wiring or electrical.
Yeah.
I just am not up on these late model stuff because I haven't worked on foreign cars for 15 years now.
Got it.
Yeah.
So.
And it doesn't take much.
Nope.
As far as getting some water in that loom or something like that with a compromised wire, you could have an issue that way.
Yeah.
That could be a tough one to find.
Thanks for the idea. As for your tickets, I would guess New York, but I'm not going to go to the stuff. So
you're not going to go?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
You got any friends that might want to go?
Well, I haven't discussed it with anybody, so I wouldn't want to claim any tickets and not be able to use them.
Well, I appreciate you doing
Thanks
that.
for being honest.
Yeah, thanks for being. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. All right, Kevin. Hey, have a great day. Have a great 4th of July. We appreciate it very much.
Well, thanks.
All right, take care. Let's go to Randy, who's up next. And so we're still waiting for a winner. And
hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning, Randy. How's it going?
Pretty good. I was going to say New York, too. I didn't know if you said that was right or wrong.
That is correct. Do you want some
Okay.
tickets?
Well, again, is it on a Saturday?
It's next Saturday, the 4th of July.
Yeah, Saturday, you know, I'd like to go, but my wife works on Saturdays, so again, I'm going to have to pass on those.
Is she going to work on the 4th of July?
She's in retail, and I think they might close a half a day on Christmas or something.
Got it. Okay.
They
Got
make
it.
you work.
Got it.
I don't want to go up there without her. So,
Got
I
it.
mean,
I don't blame you. That sounds fine,
so,
Randy.
I'm sorry. Maybe someone else can enjoy those.
Nope, that's fine. No, I'd rather give them to somebody that's going to use them, and
Yeah.
somebody with a larger family or something. They want to go. We've got 8 this hour. We'll give away. So either way, we'll make it work.
Can't watch them get wasted. I had a question for you. I only drive about 3,000 miles a year. I run that BG44K or whatever once a year, and I finally found some 89 octane gasoline, which I wanted because I hate putting the bottom of the barrel that 87. I'm not even going to discuss 85.
Okay.
But it's always been the bottom of the barrel, so I found 89. It's not a top tier gas, but since I'm going to run the BG once a year, should that clean it up and keep it good for the year, and I can run my 89 and that'd be just fine?
You could.
Because I've been doing 87 from Shell.
Although I'm not so sure that you're gaining anything using 89 in a non-top tier versus using 87 with top tier.
Yeah, I figured that'd give you a little cleaner, but
You'll be cleaner with the 87 top tier than you would be 89 non-top tier.
even considering it should be clean with BG44?
The 44K is just going to clean up what's deposited from the fuel that actually is not being, from the lesser quality fuel. Yes, it would clean some of that up, but I wouldn't do it that way. I'd run the 87 from Shell.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe I'll stick with that.
That's what I would do. You won't notice enough performance difference between the 87 to the 89 and what you're driving to merit it.
Yeah, it's not performance. The car doesn't have performance.
Nope.
I just trying to do it a favor.
Nope.
Okay, and real quick, I'm still looking at a second vehicle here. I seen a 2004 Mini Cooper.
Okay.
Is that a problem car, or is it an expensive car to, if you need a starter, an alternator, your maintenance things?
It won't be the least expensive car you can own that you could own to drive, but I don't want to say they're an expensive car either. They're not, just me personally, that's not my favorite car because I don't really care for the way that they fit, the way you drive them, the way they ride. That's me personally. I'm not dogging the car at all. I know some people that just absolutely love the car, but me personally, it's not a car for me.
Huh. But it's not necessarily a money pit that's going to be.
No, I have known. I've got some friends that actually own them that like them very well, but keep in mind it is more of a exotic small car. BMW now owns it, so it's an exotic small car, and it does take it is a higher cost of repair when you get into it than what you're going to find with other brands.
You guys can work on it at your stores, can't you?
Sure, but just remember, parts and so on are going to be more money for it.
A little more. Okay, 04 with 107. That's not too bad.
No, that's not bad.
No,
and they're good cars. Right. I'm not dogging the car. I just personally, it's not my favorite car to drive.
Right. Well, okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Appreciate that. And by the way, speaking of driving cars, you can go to our website, drive-radio.com, and it links up with our YouTube channel, which you can go directly to if you'd like. And that's youtube.com/Drive Radio. We do car reviews, all done video. And no, I am not a TV personality. So our reviews are pretty cut and dried, cut to the chase. I'm not an actor. I'm just telling you what I think of the car. You watch them, you make a determination, and as we always say, even in those videos, go out and drive the car for yourself. Don't take my word or any other reviewer's word for it, because everybody has a different taste in automobiles. That's why we have so many. That's a great thing, by the way.
It's just a great place to start.
That's exactly right. So just start there. Back to Randy's point, though, that's one of the ways you can actually do some reviewing on cars. And by the way, on the written side of the fence, I've got reviews all the way back to 2008 on the website that you can check out. So some of those cars that I reviewed even 2 or 3 years ago are used cars today. So use those reviews. I don't take any of them down. We just keep adding to them. And we've got plenty up there for you to actually check out that way. Let's go to JR, who's up next. JR, welcome.
Hello, JR. I was going to answer that question, but I guess he took the words out of my mouth.
You can still answer it and still win some tickets if you want.
Well, I'm thinking about like Brooklyn area and then Queens.
Yes.
And Long Island area. That whole area.
Right.
I guess he said New York City.
That's right. Well, that whole area. I mean, you are correct. That is the biggest fireworks show that goes on in the United States on an annual basis.
Okay. Also, I had my memories of the 4th of July.
So hang on. So time out, JR. Do you want some tickets?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay, so we've got up to 8 we can give away this hour. How many do you want?
How about 5?
Okay, I'm going to set 5 aside so I keep my count right here. 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to set those aside. When I get done talking to you, I'm going to put you on hold. Larry will get your information, and I'll mail these out to you this week, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, so I'm going to set 5 aside right now in front of Jeff. Go ahead. What's your story?
Well, the Silverton, Durango area, the Lake City area, remember? And other bunch of 4th of July is going up motorcycling and jeeping in that whole area there.
Oh, yeah.
Engineer Pass, Cinnamon Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just a great area to go four-wheeling.
Oh, it is. And I'm going to tell you, from past 2 weekends, the Colorado mountains are without a doubt the most beautiful I've seen them in years.
They really are.
However, watch out for water.
Yeah, and that was like in the early 70s, but now it's so crowded up there with just a bunch of people.
It's not
a lot of people.
Yeah, what's funny, and Jeff can attest this too, what I've learned here in the last few years is it depends on when you go.
Exactly.
If you pick the right times, it's not too bad. If you go on any of the major holidays, yes, you're going to have a lot of people.
Yep.
But I've also gone in September, which is real great, and right after the tourist season.
Yeah, that part of the year is probably one of the most beautiful parts of the year.
And kids are back in school, so there's typically not as many people.
Yep.
But those are great times when I've had.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
hey,
that's
JR,
all I
great.
had,
I appreciate it. We'll send these. I'll get these tickets off to you this week.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it very much. All right, let's take a quick break. Mike, hang tight. He's got a question on trailer licensing, which is a great question, by the way. Don't go away. We'll be right back. John Rush Drive Radio, along with Jeff Kitty, KLZ 560.
We breathe dirty air every day, and believe it or not, the air you breathe inside your vehicle can be even more polluted than the air outside. Thankfully, many of the vehicles sold today are equipped with a cabin air filter to help keep the air inside your car clean. If you are driving a car with a dirty or clogged cabin air filter, not only are you breathing dirty air, but it also puts a strain on your car's HVAC system, decreasing its performance and longevity. K&N, the inventor of washable automotive air filters, has applied its decades of high-flow, washable air filter design to cabin air filters for cars and trucks. These robust filters clean and freshen the air coming into your car's interior and are electrostatically charged to hold dust and dirt. They feature a pleated filter media that helps capture most mold, mildew, fungus, spores, bacteria, germs, pollen, and other allergens, while still allowing a high volume of airflow. They are strengthened by a custom design frame for a great fit and years of use. Best of all, K&N cabin air filters are washable and clean up easy with the K&N Refresher Cabin Air Filter Cleaning Kit. They typically only need cleaning every 12 to 15,000 miles or once a year, but you can wash them more often if you'd like, and K&N backs them up with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. They come with easy-to-follow installation instructions so you can easily replace your old filter, usually in 5 to 10 minutes. Keep the air inside your car clean and fresh without continually burying and throwing away disposable filters. Find the K&N washable cabin air filter for your car or truck at knfilters.com. That's knfilters.com.
This is Tilden Total Car Care, where life is about helping as many people as you can, as fast as you can.
A customer came in, single mom. Her car was curb checked by her son, and he just destroyed the front end of this poor car. It's the only car in the family. She's out $1,725 was the original estimate. One of the huge cost problems was there was a single part that we could not find in an aftermarket place. And my store manager at the Englewood store, he's not satisfied with that. While the tech is working on other things on the vehicle, he finds the part, gets it for way less than what she would have had to pay for the brand new one from the dealer, and saves her $500. So she comes to pick up her car the next day. We had it done. She came to pick it up, saved the $500, unannounced to her, burst into tears. It was beautiful.
Tilden Total Car Care.
Help as many people as we can, as fast as we can. Pretty cool.
Federal at Bellevue or 6th and Peoria. Tilden Total Car Care.
Your wheel alignment can affect tire wear and fuel mileage that will cost you more for repairs and fuel. Arvada West uses state-of-the-art 3D imaging to align all 4 wheels of your vehicle. Be aware that irregular tire wear could also cause the need for additional alignment parts. Stop in or call us for our alignment special. Mention this ad and we'll inspect your vehicle and check your alignment starting at $69.95. Call Arvada West Auto at 303-422-1065. Stop by 11752 West 64th Avenue or visit us on the web at arvadawestautoandtruck.com.
At Napa, we're always trying to make the great parts we sell even better. From the bacteria-killing surface on our cabin air filters to our revolutionary new Adaptive One brakes. And every Napa part is covered by a warranty good at any of our 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores. Yeah, maybe you don't get this at your average auto parts store, but we've spent the last 80 years making sure we were anything but average. Go to NapaOnline.com for a location nearest you. Napa, get the good stuff.
Good songs, Charlie. Thank you very much for doing that. Appreciate it very much. 10:35 in the morning here on Drive Radio. John Rush, your host, along with Jeff Kitty. One other announcement, too, that Larry gave me first thing this morning was the Mecum Auto Auction is actually going on at the Convention Center today. So it's that everybody knows where that's at, 714th Street. So the Mecum Auto Auction. In fact, next year we're going to have to stay on top of that and maybe do a remote broadcast from there. So we'll see how we can potentially do that here in the near future. So here's what we're going to do. Since we gave one, ticket, kind of an oddball, that last number wasn't an even number, it was 5. I'll round up another ticket and we'll still have 4 more to give away this particular hour. So, I know we already gave the answer away, but maybe you weren't listening. Maybe you're just tuning in. What's the city with the biggest fireworks display? Or if you just want the remaining 4 tickets, call Larry and we'll make it work. So however you want to do that, let me know and we'll figure that out. We've got 4 more this hour to give away. Mike and Centennial, you're up next.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, I have a question for you. I'm in the process of selling a sailboat with a trailer.
Okay.
And the trailer that we've been registering with is not the trailer that I'm selling the boat with.
Okay.
So for the last 15 years, we've had it as a dilly trailer. It's not a dilly trailer. It's another trailer. So if we want to register this, do I have to get a new registration for this old trailer, or could I still transfer the trailer that's on it?
No.
The dilly? No.
No. So the way the trailer registration is going to work is with the VIN number of the trailer itself.
Yeah.
Doesn't really even matter what description and such is there. Whatever the VIN number is on the trailer, that needs to match the title and the registration. If you want to switch the trailer out on the boat, you're more than welcome to, because really all you're selling, or what you're registering, I should say, you're selling the boat. Trailer is separate. I know you sell them as a package, but the only thing that gets registered through the motor, through the clerk, as far as the motor vehicle side of the fence is concerned, is the trailer.
Okay. So would that be just considered a new trailer registration then?
So it's never been registered before?
No.
Okay. If it's never been registered, yes, that would be considered a new registration. You will have to go through a process to get that trailer actually inspected. The CHP, the State Patrol, I believe, has to do an inspection of the VIN number and verify that for you. And I'm double check. A dealer can sometimes do the trailers, but I'm not positive. I thought trailers had to be done by the CHP.
Oh.
Go look at the website. It'll tell you for sure.
I think anybody that does a VIN verification can do that. That's credentialed to do that.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
And again, I don't know. Jeff may be right, although he may be wrong, because trailers have a little bit of a different designation, because you can build a trailer, for example, and put your own VIN number on it, and then it actually has to go through the process. And again, the CHP actually looks at it to make sure that it's safe and so on. And so that's where it's a little bit different than just the typical VIN verification.
Yeah.
Okay.
They want to make sure it's roadworthy before you actually get a.
I think it's different on a homemade. If it's a commercial build, I think that might be a little different. I don't know.
Go to the motor vehicle website.
Yeah.
And you can do a search on trailer registration, and it will walk you through that.
Yep.
Okay.
But yes, you will have to take that old trailer that's never been registered and go through the process of registering it. Yeah, and I shouldn't even say register it. You don't necessarily have to register and get license plates for it, but you need the title in your name to transfer it to somebody else.
Exactly.
Or that next person is going to go through that same process.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, if you gave him, here's another option for you. If you gave that person a bill of sale and said, hey, you know what? Here you go. Here's a bill of sale. You go figure out how to get it registered. There's nothing illegal about doing that. You could do that also.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but it has to go through the Highway Patrol, Colorado Highway Patrol.
I'm pretty sure on a trailer it does. Don't quote me on that. Look it up. Jeff may be right. A regular dealer might be able to do it, but I'm guessing the last one of those I did, the CHP had to come out and look at the trailer.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And they will. It's not, you just make an appointment and they'll come out and look at it. It's no big deal. It's a very warming experience. I mean, they're not going to come out and, judge you and look around and all that. They just come out, look at the trailer, figure out what you need to do and get it inspected and handled. But I believe that's the only way on a trailer you can actually get the title, the title work done properly and then have the sale. And like I say, you don't have to. You could take that trailer with a bill of sale and sell it. You don't have to go get it registered. There's no law that says you have to register it before you sell it.
Okay.
Is what I'm getting at. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, but I still need to get license plates for it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, if you need license plates for it, then, true license plates, then yes, that's what you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate it.
No problem at all. Appreciate the phone call. That was a great question, by the way. Let's go to Evan in Denver, who is next. Evan, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great, sir. How are you?
I wanted to answer your question for the biggest 4th of July celebration.
Sounds great. Do it.
And it's for New York City?
It is correct.
All right, thank you.
You want the 4 tickets I got?
Yes.
All right, I will put you on hold. Larry will get your name and info, and we'll mail those out this week, Evan. Thank you so much for doing that. No, I appreciate that very much. So let's go to, okay, so Larry, I did put him on hold this time. Sorry, JR, I know I cut you off before the commercial. Bad habit of just hitting drop instead of hold. So Evan's getting those, or Larry's getting Evan handled right now as we speak. That means for this hour, our tickets are given away. So we'll start again at the top of the 11 o'clock hour, and we'll give some more away. So let's go to Bob, who's next. Bob, welcome. What's going on today?
Morning, John. How are you, sir?
Doing good, sir.
Just a quick comment on the trailers. I just heard, I think, about 80% of it. But short, it's kind of like a little flow chart. So the first test, is it homemade or was it factory built?
Right.
And you kind of touch it. So homemade, yes, we'll need the inspection by the patrol.
And if I'm not mistaken, it has to be inspected by the patrol, correct?
Yeah, if it has not,
that's what I thought.
Anything homemade,
that's what I thought.
Cars, anything have to be assigned. And the owner doesn't assign a VIN number to it. The state patrol.
That's exactly right. Yeah, they give you the number, then you have to stamp it and get that re-inspected and so on.
Exactly. So the first cut is whether or not it's titled or not, and if not titled, factory built or not.
Right, or homemade. Right.
Right, or homemade. And homemade does have to be inspected, has to get a state-applied VIN, and then go forward. And then if it's titled, then the next question is, do you have the title?
Didn't sound like he did.
Okay.
Sounds like on this other trailer he's got, it's never been titled or registered from what which they would then consider that a home-built trailer.
Right, it would be homemade.
Which means the CHP then is going to have to come out and look at it.
Right. Again, if it is a factory built, then anybody who can do the VIN inspection, which would include most law enforcement agencies, the emission stations, and
dealers. Right. Now, one real quick though on that, Bob. If it's say it was a factory built trailer but never got properly registered, they're going to still consider that a home built trailer because there's no MSO or anything on it to do the registration off of. Correct?
Well, that actually creates a little different discussion, and I'm not. My gut is no, it won't be a home build. If it's factory built, had a factory VIN, was manufactured, they're going to have to either bond for the title or they're going to have to track it down. But more important, they are going to, depending on the clerk in the county, and depending on the value of the trailer, they may be looking at a significant bill because they will be assessed
sales tax and all of that
when it was last registered,
or
if it's not been registered when it was built, and that's not an uncommon problem.
No, it's not. It's not. You're right.
A lot.
It does happen, especially on trailers, because they can get it. They can have a tendency to just sit or get transferred or get given away or I can go down the list, and pretty soon you end up with a trailer with who knows where the paperwork's at for it, and it can be a real lengthy deal. You're right.
Anyway, so just a couple of thoughts.
Yeah,
anyway.
I forgot about the if it is a factory built trailer and there's no paperwork, you're basically going for a lost title is what you're looking at that point.
Exactly. and going to pay all back. Then you're going to get 90% of the time you're going to get charged all the back fees for the registrations that weren't done.
Yeah, well, the only exception, I guess, to that would be if you just acquired it because it was abandoned or something along those lines, then you may not have all that to pay.
Right, but if you do that, then you have to do that through the state process.
Correct.
You would have the paper trail.
And that's about a 3-month process to get all that done.
Exactly.
None of that is easy.
That's right.
Yep, you're right, Bob. All right.
Take
great pointers. I appreciate that very much. So yeah, trailer, which is a reminder. We don't talk much about this on Drive Radio, and we should. Any of you people out there that own trailers, keep your paperwork on the trailer. It's not something you're just dragging, behind the truck. It is a licensed, registered motor vehicle, if you would. There's no motor on it, but you still have to have all of that paperwork, registration, and as I learned this past week, even on heavy trailers, make sure that the placard that tells you the GVW of the trailer doesn't fall off, because then you have a whole other set of problems if it does. So, side note there, make sure that everything stays on the trailer as it should, which again should be part of your normal maintenance and things along those lines. But I know how trailers are; they get drug around, and you sort of forget about some of those things. But check all that out. And any other questions on trailers, let us know. 303-477-5600. Still looking for the best memory that you've had of a 4th of July. Hey, what did you do as a kid? What do you do now? Maybe the best memory was last year. I don't know. Tell me what your best memory of the 4th of July is. One other thing we're going to get into at the 11 o'clock hour, I've been saving this because I want all of our Sunday listeners to also hear it, is do scan tools that you own on your own, code readers, for example, save you money in the end when it comes to repairs. There was an article this past week on a couple of news stations in town that claimed that it does, and we're going to give you the real answer at 11 o'clock, so stay with us. In the meantime, all of our tickets are given away. We have lines open, 303-477-5600. We're looking for 4th of July memories. Call us with that. We'll be right back. Don't go away. John Rush, Jeff Kitty, Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
At Extreme Auto, we're committed to providing the highest level of service possible to our customers. Our highly trained technicians are ASE certified and are dedicated to providing you with world-class service. We have years of experience working on both domestic and import vehicles of all makes and models, and will work with you to find cost-effective repair and maintenance alternatives. We don't have hidden fees, and we don't do unnecessary repairs. Serving Parker and the surrounding areas, come and see us, the professionals at Extreme Auto, and rest easy knowing you'll get quality work done for a fair price. Our promise to you: extreme service, extreme value, extreme satisfaction. Call us to schedule your appointment today.
This is Red Merrill for Phoenix Weaponry. Phoenix Weaponry is a weapon manufacturer that services the firearm enthusiast. From precision ARs to suppressors, Phoenix Weaponry can make your dreams come true. Phoenix Weaponry is a full-service gun shop that offers gunsmithing, coating, and modification.
Will there be a commercial for the veterinarian? Okay. I just didn't want to I want to make sure if there wasn't one already that I didn't know about. Okay. Okay. Okay.
PhoenixWeaponry.com. Mention Sportsman of Colorado and receive 10% off your custom-built weapon.
Gino's Auto Service in Littleton is your go-to service shop for all your car care needs. After 32 years in business, Gino's has recently expanded, and to celebrate is offering a $69.95 alignment special with the mention of this ad. By getting your vehicle aligned, you're ensuring proper wear and longer life for your tires. Gino's is AAA approved and offers courtesy vehicles while your car is being serviced. They are conveniently located at Bowles and Platte Canyon in Littleton. Visit them online at Gino'sAutoservice.com.
Ever try to buy an air filter and get lost in catalogs and vehicle descriptions? Well, K&N, the inventor of reusable cotton filters, has got the answer to the mess. Just visit knfilters.com and enter your vehicle identification number off your dashboard or car registration, and K&N will show you the filter that fits your car. It's never been easier to buy a K&N, the filter that helps your car run better.
At Napa Auto Parts, we've been the most trusted name in auto parts for over 80 years. Probably because we've never stopped looking for ways to make the great parts we sell even better. It's a commitment to quality you'll find in every one of our 310,000 parts. From the bacteria-killing surface on our cabin air filters, to the patented damping mechanism on our drive-align belt tensioners, to our revolutionary new Adaptive One brakes. And Napa parts are covered by a warranty that's good at any of our 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores nationwide. Yeah, maybe you don't get this at your average auto parts store, but at Napa, we've spent the last 80 years making sure we were anything but average. To find the Napa Auto Parts store nearest you, go to NapaOnline.com. Napa, get the good stuff.
With over 125 locations in Colorado, southern Wyoming, and western Nebraska, there's only one place to get the good stuff: Napa Auto Parts.
We've been traveling far.
Some of these songs, Charlie, I just want to let play out for a while for our 4th of July celebration that we're entering into now, the week ahead. And then our show today will play on the 4th of July itself. So if you're listening on the 4th, happy 4th of July. This is the best country in the world ever to live in. I don't care what anybody out there says. I'm proud of our country, even though that we may not always agree on how things work. I do love this country, and most of you know I'm a very big patriot. I love what we do here. So maybe not always how we do it, but I love our country. So Drive Radio, KLZ 560, 1050 in the morning. We have one line open, 303-477-5600. Larry wanted me to remind you that in the 11 o'clock hour, we will have another 8 tickets to give away for the Bandimere Speedway Jet Car Nationals and Family Festival on the 4th of July. So that happens on the 4th.
With a new question.
With a new question, exactly. So be listening to that at the 11 o'clock hour. We'll have 8 more tickets to give away. And then in the 12 o'clock hour, another new question with 8 more tickets. So we've got plenty to give away. Don't worry. We'll make sure that everybody that needs one gets one. Let's go to Brian, who's got a question on a transmission. Welcome, Brian. What's going on?
Hello, John. Good to talk to you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm glad that you have Jeff there today.
Well, thanks.
We are too, actually.
Well, Jeff and John, I got a car. I'm sure you're familiar with it, but I know you don't get too much call on it. Got a 93 Honda Civic that I've had for 12 years. I like driving it, and, it's
a good cars.
Good car,
Yep.
and it's doesn't cost much to run, and so I like it.
Good.
Yep.
Transmission. It only holds 2 quarts, and it uses motor oil.
Automatic or standard?
Standard. Pardon me,
Okay.
Jeff. And it's I got the owner's manual here. It says only use an SF or SG grade motor oil. Weight either 10W30 or 10W40. Now I have heard. I know that the BG44K people, they make a manual transmission fluid. What do you think? Would that be worth stepping up to get for a couple quarts? Probably wouldn't be.
I have used it's called BG Synchro Shift.
Well, that rings a bell.
It is a very good fluid. It was a go-to fluid to help some of the synchronizer problems in those cars, so I would not hesitate to put that in that particular vehicle.
Well, I think that's what I'll do, and I thought I'd just run it by you, but I appreciate your input on it.
The one thing you got to remember about that fluid is you can't use that on what they call a hypoid gear transmission, but on the transmission you've got is fine.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thanks for your expertise.
All right.
You're welcome.
Brian,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much for calling in. We appreciate it very much. All right. We got lines open. A few minutes left of this hour. Drive Radio. Question is, give me a memory, your best memory of the 4th of July. 303-477-5600 is our number. We got more tickets to give away in the 11 o'clock hour. So in about 10 more minutes, we'll give some more tickets away. In the meantime, we'll answer questions, car questions especially, 303-477-5600. So, Jeff, I'll put you on the spot. What was your favorite 4th of July memory?
4th of July for us back in the late 70s was just a block party at my sister's. All of their neighbors and relatives and everybody and got together, and it was a real celebration.
Okay.
Back in the good old days when you could have pop bottle rockets and all that kind of stuff.
M80s and all the good stuff.
I I can remember adults acting like kids.
Yeah.
And it's just the best times.
Yeah, and I would kind of go along with what Jeff's saying. When we were kids, we would always have some sort of a, big celebration on 4th of July. And it was before the big events were going on like they are now. We didn't go to the stadiums and things like that.
Yeah.
We would go to the fireworks stand and we'd buy pack of Black Cats and M80s and pop bottle rockets and all the good stuff. And I know my kids have no idea some of what I just mentioned because they've been illegal now for so long that I know I still have a few, but M80s. And this was back when an M80 was really an M80. I remember this one 4th of July, my grandparents and everybody was over, and grown-ups acting like kids, to Jeff's point. There was a fence post that we had out on the out in our, separated our yard from the driveway and such. So my dad, my grandpa, they run out there and they set this M80 on top of the fence post, light it and run away. And it literally splintered that fence post into just smithereens because of that M80 and what it did. I mean, back then we used to say that 4 M80s were a stick of dynamite. I don't know if that was ever true or not, but they were potent. Let's just say that.
They were.
And fun.
Fun. Yes.
And too bad they've been outlawed. But at any rate, at least in this state, none of those other states you can go to and get them that they haven't been. But Gene in Westminster, what's going on?
Question for Jeff on an automatic transmission.
Sure.
Okay.
That's what he's here for.
I got an 86 Dodge pickup, automatic. I changed the filter, the oil filter, and adjusted the bands. And that thing, I adjusted it just like the factory manual said on the low band where you tighten it up so tight and then back it off so far.
Yeah.
It slams into gear like you wouldn't believe. And I wondered if there's an update on that adjustment.
Yeah, there is. It's one that a lot of builders use. The biggest thing is I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to have Larry put you on hold, or John put you on hold.
Okay.
And have Larry get your number. And if you want to call me Monday morning, I'll go over it with you.
Great.
The problem is if you don't do it right, it can be disastrous.
Well, that's my question. Yes.
So I don't really want to give it out over the air because there's some criteria that has to be met to do it.
Okay.
Got it.
I understand.
All right. So what I'll do is I'm going to put you on hold as we speak, and I'll let Larry pick that phone call up. And yeah, doing your own transmission repairs at home can sometimes be a little tricky, right, Jeff? Am I saying that correctly?
Well, yeah, there's the biggest problem is I don't know how many phone calls we get. They say, I need the bands adjusted.
Okay.
Well, the car manufacturers got rid of band adjustments
years ago, right?
Well, on a lot of the newer stuff. And the reason is people don't realize that band material on that band is not like it used to be on the old hydros, cast iron power glides, that type of stuff.
Okay.
The band material is less than a 64th or 62nd of an inch.
So there's
thick.
really no adjustment on it because once it's gone, it's gone.
That's what
you're saying.
It's adjusted when you build the unit.
Got it.
Now, on a lot of the older transmissions, you can still adjust them, providing you got band material there to adjust.
Right. If there's none there, then you're not helping yourself.
Exactly. But
so for everybody listening, we've got 2 minutes before we go to break. Everybody out there listening that probably has no clue what we just said. What is a band in a transmission, and what does it actually do?
A band wraps around a drum.
Okay.
And
what's in the drum?
Well, the drum can hold a planetary, one-way sprag.
A planetary meaning that it's a gear reduction for the transmission.
Gear reduction for a transmission. It's a braking component inside the transmission. A lot of the foreign cars call them brake bands.
Okay.
But what happens is they use hydraulic force to apply a lever.
Okay.
To apply the van, and it holds that drum from turning.
In some cases, that may actually be a gear that you're going into.
It could be a gear that you're going into. It's a gear change normally.
Okay.
Sometimes it's put on for gear reduction, like in the case of this gentleman.
Okay. What happens is when that band material is gone, it can't apply enough pressure to slow that drum down.
Well, it can, but you're metal to metal at that point.
Got it.
And that's where you chew up the transmission.
Got it. All right. Good explanation. We got a second hour of Drive Radio coming up next. Don't go away. We're going to give 8 more tickets away for the Jet Car Nationals and Family Festival out at Bandimere Speedway. Mecum Auto Auction is going on today at the Convention Center. We're asking about 4th of July stories. And then when I come back, I'm also going to talk about scan tools. And if owning one really saves you money, don't go away. We'll be right back. John Rush Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
Wasting all my time. 'Cause when you're standing oh so near, kind of lose my mind.
Still haven't had enough? Go to drive-radio.com. Email your questions and comments. Download previous programs and find lots of useful information, including your nearest Colorado Select Auto Care Center. That's drive-radio.com. Thanks for listening to Drive Radio, sponsored by the member shops of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers on KLZ 560.
Drive Radio is a presentation of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers. The independently owned and operated shops of Colorado Select hold each other accountable for their highest standards of technical expertise, honesty, and professionalism. They all understand that choosing a mechanic is risky business. So Colorado Select was created by this exclusive group of like-minded professionals who are dedicated to raising the level of consumer confidence in Colorado's auto repair industry. Schedule your next oil change at any of the Colorado Select Auto Care Centers heard on Drive Radio, and you'll immediately see the difference. For the complete list of all the member shops in the state, visit drive-radio.com.
Well, it's that time of year again where we're all getting prepared for the upcoming hunting season. Hi, this is Scott Watley with Sportsman of Colorado. Tune in each week and we'll bring you local experts in archery, muzzleloading, and rifle hunting. Looking for a place to hunt? We've got you covered. Want to book a trophy deer or elk hunt with a reliable outfitter? We can help. For the anglers, we'll give you a fishing report each week. If you like the outdoors, you'll love Sportsman of Colorado, Saturdays at 1 p.m. right here on KLZ 560.
John Rush here on the next Rush to Reason. It's Small Business Monday. Owners of coin-operated car washes, laundromats, they protest Aurora's tax that the city says it will implement in 2017. But business owners say it's unfair. We'll have traffic and weather updates with Alex Bookman. And of course, we'll take all your calls. That's the next Rush to Reason in the evening rush hour every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on KLZ 560.
KLZ AM 560, KLZ HD Denver. Listen live at KLZ560radio.com. KLZ 560, a Crawford Broadcasting God and Country station.
This is the Blaze Radio News. I'm Joe Gomez. Dallas police believe a man who went on a spree of terror against police may be dead after an hours-long standoff. We get the story from the Blaze's Brad James.
I was ducking and yelling at my husband to duck, that he was being nosy, and I was just scared out of my mind. I was shaking.
That's Kelly Williams speaking to CNN by phone, an eyewitness to the attack on the Dallas Police headquarters.
I believe we're blessed that our officers survived this ordeal. There are bullet holes in squad cars where officers were sitting.
That's Dallas Police Chief David Brown. The gunman pulling up to police headquarters in an armored van and opened fire. Bags with bombs found just outside of the police headquarters. One of those bags containing a pipe bomb detonated by a police robot. A SWAT team sharpshooter finally shooting the man inside the vehicle with a .50 caliber rifle. Brad James, The Blaze News.
Obama gets defeated by his own party on trade. The Blaze's Chris Vermillion has that.
For these and other reasons, I will be voting today to slow down the fast track to get a better deal for the American people.
House Minority Leader, California Democrat Nancy Pelosi, explaining why she opposes trade legislation, receiving a last-minute push from President Obama before failing to make it through the House. 2016 presidential hopeful Carly Fiorina says the Democratic opposition is the president's own fault.
You know, the president, I think, hasn't really invested in relationships on either side of the aisle. And so when he called this time, they didn't respond.
Fiorina speaking on the record on Fox News.
New York police say the woman accused of helping two murderers break out of an upstate prison smuggled in tools that they used in their escape. Court documents say 51-year-old Joyce Mitchell gave the prisoners a chisel, hacksaw blades, and a screwdriver bit. I'm Joe Gomez with news on the Blaze Radio Network. Truth lives here.
The Blaze Radio News on KLZ 560 Denver.
Dana Lash, 8 p.m. weeknights on KLZ 560.
It's a mighty fancy automobile. Oh, she's a real road king, all right. 0 to 60 in 7.5. She'll do a quarter mile, 13.40. 390 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque. Whatever that is. Performance and image, that's what it's all about.
There's no such thing as a stupid question. This is Drive Radio. All of your automotive questions are just one phone call away. 303-477-5600. Drive Radio is made possible by the member shops of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers. To find one near you, go to drive-radio.com. Now, Drive Radio on KLZ 560.
And this is Drive Radio. John Rush, your host, KLZ 560. Jeff Kitty from Larry's Automotive and Transmission is in studio with me, along with, of course, Larry Younger, also from Larry's Automotive and Transmission on the other side of the glass, and appreciate their dedication not only to Drive Radio, but also what I do during the week on Rush to Reason. So, guys, thank you very much.
Oh, you're more than welcome, John. We appreciate what you do for the country.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate the support. It really helps out a lot. So we're going to go to the phones in just a moment. We're also going to give away 8 more tickets to the, doesn't even say what annual this is, but I know this is an annual event. The Vandermeer Speedway, Jet Car Nationals, and Family Festival. That is July 4th. Gates open at 8. I believe the racing in that starts at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There will be fireworks. It's a great family day. We have 8 tickets to give away this hour. So the second question that we're going to ask is, what year did Independence Day become a federal holiday? Okay, what year did Independence Day, 4th of July, become a federal holiday? And then we'll give you 8 more tickets. So, and you can have, by the way, if you're a caller and you've got a big family or a lot of friends and a big party that you want to take out there and you want all 8 tickets to yourself, be my guest. Just be the first caller with that particular answer and we'll get you geared up. Again, 303-477-5600 is our number. Randy, what's going on? Do you have a story for us on 4th of July?
Yeah, I'm back again. And hey, just out of curiosity, not that I want the tickets, would it be 1776, bicentennial year?
No, sir.
Okay. That was just a guess.
It's all right. Good guess.
Yeah. Well, now, great time I had. This was 5 or 10 years ago. We went down to the academy there in the Colorado Springs.
Oh yeah.
And they had the jets flying by and putting the color out, and I mean that was just something to see. I mean the colors, the speed, the sound.
Yeah, and to your point, one of the other greatest 4th of Julys I can remember having is when my Marine son was at Camp Lejeune, stationed there. And I can't remember if he was getting ready to go to Afghanistan or had just gotten back. I think he had just gotten back. And we went out there for the 4th of July. And I tell you what, you talk about a fireworks show. Those Marines at Camp Lejeune, let's just say this, they know how to put on a fireworks show.
Oh, yeah. Even in the Eastern, the Middle East, they could put those.
That thing was awesome. It was awesome. And here was the other thing that made it so awesome. Nothing more awesome than being at a 4th of July fireworks show, Independence Day, surrounded by a bunch of Marines that have been fighting for our country to keep that freedom alive, and being, and all the families and friends and so on around there. I mean, it was just a great, great day.
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
It really did.
Real quick, I want to tell you something. When I grew up in Detroit, we were about 30, 40 minutes from downtown. And when they did their annual hydroplane event, you could hear those things. You can't see them, but you could hear them in the background just, whoa.
Really?
Whoa. Man, that was nice.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Good stories, Randy. Appreciate that. No, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's go to Joe, who's up next in Denver. Joe, welcome to Drive Radio.
How are you?
I'm doing well, sir.
Good. My question is, my brother passed away, and we're giving his motorcycle to my other brother's oldest son.
Okay.
And he's been dead now for 9-10 months, and the plates are still good for 7/15.
Okay.
He's actually got another month. Can I just go down and buy new plates?
If it's in a Okay, there's two ways you can do this, and the proper way to do it would be to put the title into the proper individual's name that actually now owns the motorcycle. That would be the proper way to do it. Really, you want to get that out of the deceased family member's name, transfer that, and they will help you with the process. There will probably be a little bit of sales tax they will charge you for and so on. And no, I'm not a big fan of that, but I believe they'll make that fairly minimal since it's something that's just been passed from one family member to another.
Right. Now, the only thing is I'm not sure where the title might be.
You'll have to, and if you don't have a title, you will have to apply for a lost title in the deceased family member's name.
Mm-hmm.
And then what will happen is to actually get that title transferred, you'll have to use some of your estate papers, death certificate, whatever, to actually make that transfer happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Can he, since the plates are good for yet another month, can he still take it to California and do that work in California if I send him a copy of the death certificate and stuff like that?
I think you'd be better off doing it here first.
Okay.
It'd be a lot less headache doing it here than trying to do it in another state.
Okay.
And I think if you go to motor vehicle with a death certificate, chances are you might be able to handle that fairly quickly.
Just write it down and just add motor vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're going to reassign it to somebody, that'd probably be the easiest way to save taxes on it because it was registered and you still got a month on it. So
correct.
Okay.
I think you'd be better off going that route.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the.
You bet, Joe. Thank you, and sorry for your loss. That's never a fun. That's never a fun thing to go through.
I know.
So,
okay. Thank you
all right,
very
man.
much.
Appreciate it very much. Thanks for the phone call. Let's go to Stephen in Highlands Ranch with another transmission question. Which, yes, Jeff Kitty is our resident transmission expert. So, if you have transmission questions, today is the day to call. Steve, what's going on? Welcome, Stephen. Are you there?
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm sorry then.
That's
Thank
okay.
you very
Go
much
ahead.
For your show. I just have a question for my, I have a 2014 of the Cruise because it is the manual stick transmission there. And my question is, when I park, do I need to put the gear in the shift or to put in the lateral? And put the,
when you're parking the car on any manual transmission car, I would put the emergency brake and put it in low gear, first, reverse, something like that.
I see. Yeah, because I have a question asked my son, and he said he don't need to then just put in the emergency brake. That should be fine. But I said I don't think so. Then why not he should listen? Then I just get him proof. Then I'm right. Then
yeah, no, you would want to put that in, and not you don't want to put it in like third or fourth or fifth gear. You want to put that in first gear, preferably first or reverse, and the emergency brake on.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Stephen. Great question, by the way. So as we always say, there's never a dumb question on Drive Radio. If you don't know the answer, chances are somebody else out there listening has exactly the same question. So call in, ask it. Somebody else is thinking the same thing. Larry also mentioned earlier, we had a caller that called in and said how much he really appreciated our show and what we do. And I know we get a lot of kudos from you listening each week. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do. If you really like what we do on Drive Radio, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbor, tell your boss, tell your kids, anybody you know that drives. And by the way, we give a lot of tips out that don't even involve driving sometimes. If you just want somebody to learn and have fun, tell them about Drive Radio. We're here every single Saturday, 10 to 1. We rebroadcast the second 2 hours on Sundays from noon to 2. And you can catch all of our podcasts. Just go to drive-radio.com. There's a link there. Links it up to SoundCloud. I stick everything up there, typically shortly thereafter. In fact, speaking of that, Charlie, if you'd load up today's show later today, I'll actually get that up sooner than I've been doing lately. So we'll get that handled and make that happen a little bit faster. So tell you what, let's do this. Want to mention a new member. We have Community Auto up in Fort Collins.
Yep.
Stacia Hamp is one of the owner's daughters, and it's run by a bunch of ladies.
Fantastic.
It's a fantastic facility, 1925 South Timberline Road. The phone number is 970-484-7556. The web address is communityautoinc.com. So those of you that are in the northern part of town, here's what I want you to do. Even if you don't need anything done to your vehicle, drive by there, walk in, meet these fantastic ladies, get a tour of the facility, because you may not need work now, but maybe you will in 3 months or 6 months or a year. And chances are you will, because cars need maintained because they're mechanical devices. So stop in and just say hi. Tell them that you listen to Drive Radio, that, welcome them into the family. Let them know that you're really appreciative of them joining our family here. And just let them know how much you like the fact that they're a part of what we do. And then get a tour of the shop. It's a fantastic family-run, well-run, not just a family run. It's very well-run, clean as a whistle. It's just an absolutely nice facility. Community Auto in Fort Collins. Again, it's at 1925 South Timberline Road. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. Let's hope we can give some more tickets away. So we have 8 right now to give away.
Yep.
What year did Independence Day become a federal holiday? And we've got Jet Car National and Family Festival tickets for you. We'll give away up to 8. Give us a call. We'll get you right on air, 303-477-5600. Let's go to break, Charlie. John Rush, Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
Reliability. It's what every driver wants from their vehicle. Regardless of make or model, you want your vehicle to take you where you need to go. Reliability is exactly what Colorado Select Auto Care Centers offer. They've set the standard for excellence in automotive repair and maintenance. Each Colorado Select member currently offers Napa's Peace of Mind warranty, but are now also offering an extended 2-year or 24,000-mile warranty on repair work. You won't find this offer anywhere else. To find a Colorado Select Auto Care Center near you, log on to drive-radio.com or call 303-546-6272.
At Napa, we're always trying to make the great parts we sell even better. From the bacteria-killing surface on our cabin air filters to our revolutionary new Adaptive One brakes. And every Napa part is covered by a warranty good at any of our 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores. Yeah, maybe you don't get this at your average auto parts store, but we've spent the last 80 years making sure we were anything but average. Go to NapaOnline.com for a location nearest you. Napa, get the good stuff.
This is Tilden Total Car Care, where life is about helping as many people as you can, as fast as you can.
When I saw the $1,725 estimate for my car,
I nearly panicked.
She's freaking out. Single mom. It's the only car in the family, but she has to do it. There's no option. So she comes to pick up her car the next day. We had it done.
The Tilden manager said,
well, I have a little bit of change on your ticket. And she has the big eyes and, oh heavens, now what are we up against?
When the Tilden car care manager told me that he found a way to save me $550,
I cried.
It was beautiful.
Wow. A little extra effort made my terrible day a little bit.
This is the kind of above and beyond service Tilden Total Car Care provides every day. Because at Tilden, life really is about helping as many people as you can, as fast as you can. Tilden Total Car Care, Federal at Bellevue or at 6th and Peoria.
Word of mouth is a great way to find professional references, but choosing an auto technician, it's one of those exceptions, unless that referral comes from another auto technician. Think about that for a moment. A referral from one competitor to another. Every Colorado Select Auto Care Center offers the industry-leading 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on every repair. The dealerships can't even match that. Find a Colorado Select Master Technician near you at coloradoselect.org.
Charlie's playing some good 4th of July music for us because this show today is going to replay on the 4th of July. So all of you that have served, done whatever we need as a country to stay free, thank you for your service. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you to the families that have sacrificed greatly so that we would have what we have. And most of all, and I know that they can't hear this, but our founding fathers and all the sacrifices they made to create the country that we have. Thank you.
Yes.
Most of all, get out and enjoy the day. Have fun with family, friends. If you go to the Bandamere event, enjoy it.
Families are by far too fleeting.
That's a fact. All right. So the question is, What year did Independence Day become a federal holiday? We have 8 tickets to give away this hour. That's not a tough question. You can figure it out by probably Googling it. So I'll give you a little hint. We want to give 8 tickets away this hour to the Jet Car Nationals and Family Festival. So go ahead, call us, and if you don't want to come on air and answer that question, come on, tell Larry what the answer is, and we'll still give you the tickets. It's not a big deal. 303-477-5600. And I tell you what, let's go to Paul, who is next. Paul in Denver, welcome.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Good. Well, not really. I'll leave the tickets to somebody who really needs them.
Okay.
I'll be at work that day.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
My question is, I have a 93 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Okay.
And I've called on this vehicle many times to the show, but I encountered something I've never encountered with any automobile before.
Okay. What is it?
This past week. I had a check engine light pop up, and I thought, must be the old time for a new O2 sensor, and drove to work, ran fine, and routinely scanning the gauges, everything's fine. Get to work, shut it off, come back out later that night, no check engine light comes back on.
Okay.
Drive home. The next day, I drive to work, get about a mile from the house, check engine light comes back on. Scanning gauges, and I realize, hey, my voltage gauge is showing that I am not charged. I'm not running on the alternator / generator.
Got it.
Yep. I'm on battery only.
Okay.
Make it to work. Everything's fine. Come back out that night. I'm back on battery. No indication that I'm getting recharged by the engine running.
Okay.
Made it all the way back home, 15 miles.
Okay.
And I had zero indication on this gauge that there was any charge on this battery.
Okay.
Get it backed up into the driveway, and it ran absolutely perfectly. The only problem was all the electrical lights were dimming lower and lower and lower as I kept going.
Sure.
Yep. Pulled the alternator out in the morning, the following morning, took it out to get tested. They say, hey, alternator is fine. Pulled the battery out. Had it tested by a different store, out of the vehicle, fine. There's nothing in this vehicle that can manipulate the, voltage operation. I mean, there is
well,
a voltage
and
regulator.
you just made a great case for why taking it off and taking it in and getting inspected doesn't necessarily tell you what's going on, because unless it's on the vehicle with that electrical system hooked up to it, you really don't know whether it's working or not.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Oh, really?
Because it has to be energized from your from your system to actually have it charge.
Yeah.
Okay, because every time I'd ask a shop that I wanted to take the device to, they would always tell me the exact opposite, that, hey, if it's connected to the car, we're not really sure what's going on. So
what?
Bring it in as a discrete device.
I don't know who you're talking to. That's not good advice. I don't know who's telling you that, but they're not telling you and I can tell you one thing, it wouldn't be anybody in our Colorado Select group, because we want to check the entire vehicle's electrical system, battery, alternator, everything that's there as one, not the unit by itself, not the alternator by itself.
You need to be able to check connections and stuff like that. So, I mean, that just doesn't even make good.
No, that's not common sense.
Business sense for that shop.
That's right.
Well, these are the generic, I'll call them the generic parts stores.
Yeah, well, and again, I'm not trying to knock anybody, but you need that vehicle inspected complete, not with the alternator off of it. So what was your second problem or second question?
Well, the second question really is the transmission issue.
Okay.
I can, having owned the vehicle long enough, I know when it starts to shift a little abnormally, I know, time to make sure and double check transmission fluid level. And I ended up actually having to, because I've owned it, I know that add a little, check it. And I put it in neutral with it already warmed up, that is, having been driven. And then park it on a level surface, put it in neutral, start checking fluid levels at that point, add a little, and keep doing that until I see an indication that, okay, I'm getting close to full, or, I don't want it overfilled.
Got it.
And that transmission, I think I can't remember the actual model number, but anyway, I ended up putting a quart and a fourth in it before it even indicated that.
Quite a bit. So where's your leak at?
Yeah.
Where's your leak? You have a leak somewhere.
You got a leak somewhere.
Well, yeah, it's got to be somewhere, but it's not falling on the ground.
It's probably running into the transfer case.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why it's low. And that's a very, very common problem on that.
It sounds to me you need to get that thing into a shop and have them check it over and see what's going on with it. Because if that's got the Asia Warner transmission, you got electrical problems, that can make them shift funny too.
Okay. Well, I know where to take it.
Okay.
Take it over to Kent Rackley.
Sounds awesome. Appreciate it, Paul. Do that. Let's do that. Let's go to, let's see if we got let's see. Don, I guess you're next. You've been waiting the longest. Don in Nevada, welcome to Drive Radio. What's up?
Yeah, I would say, 1870.
Nope.
Would be the year, no?
Nope. You're off.
Okay, sounds good.
No problem, though. You can keep at it. What, you have another question on your minivan?
Okay.
Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, sorry, I'd have to call back. I got busy all of a sudden.
Okay, no, I'll tell you what. I'll drop you. Go ahead and call us back. We'll let you do that. That's what we're here for. 303-477-5600. Bob, you're up next. Hello, Bob. Bob dropped. Bob, you had an answer for us. If you're still listening, call us back. We'll get you right on air. 303-477-5600. What we're looking for is we've got 8 tickets to give away. The Jet Car Nationals and Family Festival. It's next Saturday, so the 4th of July. Gates open at 8. The festivities really kind of start throughout the day, but mainly at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when I think the racing and some of that starts. The question we're looking for, and you can get up to all 8 tickets if you'd like. What year did Independence Day become a federal holiday? It was celebrated prior to that, but when did it become an actual federal holiday? Let's go to Mike, who's got a question. Mike, welcome to Drive Radio. What's going on?
How you doing, John?
Good, sir.
Hey, I've got the other caller that called in just earlier about getting the title transferred for, I guess it was a motorcycle out in California.
Yes, sir.
I just went through that with another family member and inherited a car.
Got it.
And I needed the VIN verification, emissions test, my license, and then a notice of probate.
Okay.
And then the title, of course, he's got to get that. But I'm the executor, but the executor has to sign over the title.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
that
makes sense.
And
yes.
So, yeah,
that would make sense.
So,
and
anyway,
and as you can tell, this has not been a daily occurrence for me. So I was hoping somebody would call in that's done this recently, because it is a process. And if you don't do it right, well, they make you do it right. It's just you want to avoid as many trips down there as possible.
Right, exactly. And it was only like $80 or so.
Okay, so it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, and it's an older car. Get this, I've never seen this before. There's this lever, and you roll it around, and the window goes up and down.
Oh, is that a Flintstone mobile?
There's a lever.
There's a lever.
Oh, wow, amazing. That kind of goes along with our favorite 4th of July days, is back when you actually had to crank the windows up and down.
Right.
Yeah, that's where that old saying is, crank the window up. That's because we literally had to crank it up.
I do have a question.
Go ahead.
It's going to need an ignition replacement. The module, it sticks when you try and turn it on.
Okay.
Is there a way of keeping the same key and replacing that module? Can you replace the tumblers in it?
What year car?
It's a 2001 Saturn.
Should be able to. Yes.
Be able to.
Yep. Should be able to.
Okay. Any recommendation on where you get the ignition, or?
I would check Napa first. They may very well carry that. If not, all of our Colorado Select facilities know where the sources are and can do that.
If you want a key to like, you might have to have somebody go in and change the tumblers for you.
May have to, yeah.
Okay.
Not a big deal though.
Should be a big deal.
It's doable.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Thanks so much for your phone call. I appreciate it very much. Let's go to Marty and Parker, who may very well have an answer for us. What's going on, Marty?
Hey, just enjoying my Saturday afternoon without a rainstorm.
Well, thank you. I agree. It was a little exciting around here during the week. Let's just say that.
Yeah, we had some pretty strong storms.
Yes, we did.
Through here. The answer, let's see, what's the question? The federal holiday?
Yeah, the year Independence Day became a federal holiday. Exactly.
Well, there's a little controversy about that. I would say that Congress created that holiday in 1870, but in 1938 it became a paid legal holiday.
Okay.
And that's I don't know, the 1870 Congress I would go with.
I'll tell you what. Let's do this. You guys are getting close. I'm going to let Larry talk to you so he can actually give you the source that he found. I'm not going to give the direct answer out, but I'm going to put you on hold. Let Larry talk to you. How many tickets are you going to want, Marty?
Can I get 4?
Sure. I just want to make sure I'm writing it down on my end so I can keep tabs here on what's going on. All right. I'm going to put you on hold. Let Larry talk to you and finish that up. Bob and Parker, tell you what, we'll just stretch our break out here for just a second. Let's do this next contest real quick. Bob, what do you think?
John, I would have gone with I'm learning like the last guy. I would have gone with the same date. So I may do some more research here and learn.
It
would have gone with the 1870, 1938 too.
I will let Larry explain to you where he found the answer, and I'm not going to give it out just because I'll let him do this anyways. How many tickets do you want?
I mean, I could use 4 too. If
4 is perfect. We can spare that. Not a problem at all. I'll tell you what, Bob, I'm going to put you on hold. Let Larry get your address and all that so we can get these things mailed out to you. Not a problem. With that, let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and I will talk about, as soon as we come back, scan tools. And do they really save you money by owning one? That next here on Drive Radio. Don't go away. John Rush, your host, KLZ 560.
Today's cars and trucks are very complicated and can be expensive to repair. At Arvada West Auto and Truck, we can help you to understand the complex nature of repairs. We specialize in computer repairs. Maybe you have tried another shop and you still have the same problem. Let our highly experienced technicians at Arvada West Auto help you. Call 303-422-1065 or stop by and see us at Arvada West Auto and Truck, 11752 West 64th Avenue in West Arvada, or visit us on the web at arvadawestautoandtruck.com. 303-422-1065.
Gino's Auto Service in Littleton is your go-to service shop for all your car care needs. After 32 years in business, Gino's has recently expanded and to celebrate is offering a $69.95 alignment special with the mention of this ad. By getting your vehicle aligned, you're ensuring proper wear and longer life for your tires. Gino's is AAA approved and offers courtesy vehicles while your car is being serviced. They are conveniently located at Bowles and Platte Canyon in Littleton. Visit them online at Gino'sAutoservice.com.
We've all been there. You run to the hood and suddenly realize you don't have the parts you need. Or even worse, you don't know what parts you need. Well, at Napa Auto Parts, we have ASE certified parts specialists that'll make sure you find that right part. One covered by a warranty good at any one of 6,000 Napa locations. Yeah, finding the right part might not be easy, but fortunately, finding the right parts store is. Go to NapaOnline.com for the location nearest you. Napa, get the good stuff.
Under normal circumstances, I would never allow my mechanic to repair my transmission. For that, you need a specialist. There is one repair shop with the very rare expertise in both master auto repair and transmission repair, and that's Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair. With Larry's, you've got the premier ATRA certified transmission specialist and an ASC certified master mechanic under one roof. This means they don't have to refer you to a transmission specialist because they are the transmission specialist. It's more efficient this way. Your repairs are done more quickly by the same guys who already know your car. And since Larry's Automotive would rather repair your transmission than replace it, you'll save hundreds of dollars on your vehicle. Everything under your hood, under one roof. Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair, and a member of the Colorado Select Auto Care Centers. Call 303-427-2108. 303-427-2108. Ask for Larry and tell him KLZ 560 told you to call.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on.
All right. As we move into the 4th of July week, and this show actually will replay on the 4th of July, Charlie Grimes playing some great music for us. We appreciate that very much. And lines are full. As soon as somebody calls in, we'll get you right on air, 303-477-5600. Anything at all you want to talk about. At the noon hour, we'll go back and give 8 more tickets away. So we've given away what we had for this hour. We'll give more tickets away once we get to the top of the hour. And I talked earlier about the Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center. The phone number there, 303-708-8050, LoneTreeVet.com. As I said earlier, both Dr. Bill Moyle and his wife Nancy, they've been longtime listeners of Drive Radio. They appreciate everything that we've done, and in turn, really just wanted to become a support for us. And that's why they joined our Drive Radio family, and I appreciate that very, very much. So what we want to do is make sure that you support them for supporting us. Anything you need with your pet, they can take care of. Again, the phone number, 303-708-8050. They're certified by the American Animal Hospital. They recently earned their 3rd annual Gold Star rating with the Better Business Bureau. They're located at 8681 East Lincoln Avenue in Lone Tree. That's 1 block west of Yosemite on Lincoln Avenue, about a mile south of Park Meadows Mall. You can visit them again on LoneTreeVet.com. And I toured the facility, so just a side note. Toured the facility a few weeks ago. I got a grand tour of everything, from the kennels to where they board your dog daily, weekly, however you need to do that, to the lab area, to the surgery area, to the rehab area, to of course, the entrance where they sell all their products and really some great dog food that's prescription grade. I mean, you name it, this facility has it. They do preventative care, illness care, advanced dentistry for your dogs or cats. They've got a complete diagnostics lab, digital x-ray, ultrasounds, laparoscopic surgery or traditional surgery, orthopedic surgery, you name it, they have it. And why did they want to partner with us? Again, they like what we do here, but more than that, they want to make sure that you folks that are driving, that have pets with you, that take them from point A to point B, that you're actually doing that correctly. So we'll get them on air with us here in the very near future, do an actual segment or 2 with them where we actually talk about what you do to properly transport your pet. But again, full service boarding lodge, full service grooming salon, canine academy, awesome facility. They're open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. They don't charge extra for appointments during their evening or weekend hours. So again, great facility, LoneTreeVet.com, 303-708-8050. Let's go to Don in Arvada. Don, welcome. What's going on, sir? Hello, Don. Are you there?
Yes, hello.
There we go. What's going on today?
Yeah, I have a 99 Sienna, and I was towing a camper to Moab. We were coming back, and it's about a 1,400-pound camper. I was coming up just before Vail Pass. I wasn't even going. I was going downhill, and the van just kind of died completely. And so I pulled to the side of the road with the trailer and all, and checked the engine. Wasn't hot or anything. Didn't know what was the issue, and started it back up and made it back to Denver with no issues. So it just a really weird thing, and not sure what could cause a vehicle like that to just die and revive all of a sudden.
How long had you been driving it when it died?
I'd been driving it for about 200 miles perhaps.
Okay. And big elevation swings or not?
Well, I was going from Moab up to Ville. I just had gotten into Ville. I'm not sure what Ville is, but probably about 3,000 foot elevation change.
That's not a ton.
Yeah.
It's not enough to bother anything.
Any lights on or anything like that?
There was no lights, no indication. I mean, when it died, all the lights on the dash came on, but that was it. I mean, including the check engine light. But
okay,
when I turned it back on, no lights, nothing. So it was just a freak thing that all of a sudden I lose power and die. So I did lose power and die. It wasn't just a complete engine turns off. It was a lose power and then shut off and then.
Like electrical power?
No, like engine power, like the gas wasn't
Okay.
going.
Wow. And never happened before?
No, or after. I towed up Ville Pass just fine. I towed up to the tunnel just fine. And
have you had anybody check it over for
anything?
Yeah, I haven't yet. I can and probably will do that. But
did it? And the one thing I'm trying to, in my mind, kind of wrap my head around is: do you think it was a fuel shut off issue, or do you think electrically something shut off, or could you tell?
No, I think it was probably fuel. As I said, it lost power, but it seemed to be electrically
got it.
fine.
And how many miles are on it?
About 100.
Just 100 is all.
Yeah.
I would, to Jeff's point, I'd have somebody check it out, make sure there's, no codes, history, things along those lines. I think the other thing I would look at is making sure somebody does a good fuel system inspection. Fuel pump, make sure pressure, volume, windings in the pump are good.
Filters.
Exactly.
Now,
all of that.
Let me ask you this. Could it have been an electrical where I would lose power, but I mean, I wouldn't be able to stomp on the gas?
I doubt it.
Electrical cause it to not?
No, typically not. No.
Because I did have a high electrical load on my alternator, with the camper charging and, with the...
I don't think that would cause your problem. I'm guessing that you had more of a fuel system, fuel delivery problem, something along those lines. And, and it could be that if the fuel pump's just a little bit on the weak side and it was hot, it could have had a little bit of a vapor. I know typically vapor lock doesn't happen on fuel injected vehicles, but it can. I've seen it.
It was raining as we were, coming back.
Got it. What was the outside temperature like at that point?
It was in the middle. So
I mean, outside ambient temperature. Was it still pretty warm out?
No, it was probably in the high 70s.
Yeah, that's not too bad then.
Was it raining when this happened?
It had just started raining not too long before.
Okay.
So.
It could be a connector. Maybe got a little wet or something like that. That
one's tough.
That's going to be a tough one to find.
Especially since it ran all the way home after that with no problems.
When's the last time you had that fuel system serviced?
I probably hadn't had it serviced in the 35,000 miles I've had it.
I would have somebody, look at that, look at some of the other maintenance items, fuel filters and so on, and just make sure that everything is up to snuff. And, honestly, I don't know that I'd spend a lot of time worrying about it, but I would have the basic things inspected. Again, because of your mileage, that stuff needs done anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
probably
you haven't
need a
had
timing belt and that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Too.
Yeah. You're at that stage anyways.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Well, thanks.
You bet.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you very much. That's a tough one, Jeff, because it didn't keep doing it. So
yeah. And
who knows?
Those are the hardest ones to fix.
Yes, they are. Let's go to David in Denver, who's got another question for us on transmissions. David, welcome.
Yes, I've got a 96 Mercedes S320, and if I let it warm up for a few minutes, maybe 3 minutes or whatever, it will shift out of first gear right away when I drive away. But if I don't, if I just drive out and drive down the street, it takes 2 or 3 blocks until, it'll shift out of first gear. So I guess it's taken a while for the fluid possibly to warm up. I don't know, but is that a problem?
That could be. When's the last time you had this thing serviced?
I haven't yet because I've only had it less than a year. So I'm just trying to do piece by piece and try to
Got it. And do you have records on it from before, as far as what somebody's done in the last, roughly 20 years?
No, they didn't have all of those, and ones that they did have didn't show any records on the.
Okay.
Was this bad during the winter months?
Not really any worse. It just seemed to kind of do that all the time.
Yeah, and it could be a fluid issue where you just need to get the fluid maintained and filters changed in it. Not saying that that's going to take care of the problem, but you just don't have too many problems with those units.
Okay, so just start from there.
A little clean fluid in there never hurt anybody, unless there's a problem already there.
Right. Okay, I'll try that and then go from there.
I would definitely try that first.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Take care. All right, with that, let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and I promise, I will in this next segment talk about scan tools. We've gotten busy with calls, which is great. That's what we're here for, is to take your calls, but I will explain some of the
pitfalls
of scan tools and how they may not save you as much money as what some would tell you.
Now, are you talking a scan tool or a scan code reader?
Scan code reader. And if you have a scan tool with the right person or with the wrong person reading it, it's no different. So we'll talk about both of those when we come back. Don't go away. John Rush, Jeff Kitty, Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
Okay.
At Napa Auto Parts, we've been the most trusted name in auto parts for over 80 years. Probably because we've never stopped looking for ways to make the great parts we sell even better. It's a commitment to quality you'll find in every one of our 310,000 parts. From the bacteria-killing surface on our cabin air filters, to the patented damping mechanism on our drive-align belt tensioners, to our revolutionary new Adaptive One brakes. And Napa parts are covered by a warranty that's good at any of our 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores nationwide. Yeah, maybe you don't get this at your average auto parts store, but at Napa, we've spent the last 80 years making sure we were anything but average. To find the Napa Auto Parts store nearest you, go to NapaOnline.com. Napa, get the good stuff.
With over 125 locations in Colorado, southern Wyoming, and western Nebraska, there's only one place to get the good stuff: Napa Auto Parts.
Your wheel alignment can affect tire wear and fuel mileage that will cost you more for repairs and fuel. Arvada West uses state-of-the-art 3D imaging to align all four wheels of your vehicle. Be aware that irregular tire wear could also cause the need for additional alignment parts. Stop in or call us for our alignment special. Mention this ad and we'll inspect your vehicle and check your alignment starting at $69.95. Call Arvada West Auto at 303-422-1065. Stop by 11752 West 64th Avenue or visit us on the web at arvadawestautoandtruck.com.
We breathe dirty air every day, and believe it or not, the air you breathe inside your vehicle can be even more polluted than the air outside. Thankfully, many of the vehicles sold today are equipped with a cabin air filter to help keep the air inside your car clean. If you are driving a car with a dirty or clogged cabin air filter, not only are you breathing dirty air, but it also puts a strain on your car's HVAC system, decreasing its performance and longevity. K&N, the inventor of washable automotive air filters, has applied its decades of high-flow, washable air filter design to cabin air filters for cars and trucks. These robust filters clean and freshen the air coming into your car's interior and are electrostatically charged to hold dust and dirt. They feature a pleated filter media that helps capture most mold, mildew, fungus, spores, bacteria, germs, pollen, and other allergens, while still allowing a high volume of airflow. They are strengthened by a custom design frame for a great fit and years of use. Best of all, K&N cabin air filters are washable and clean up easy with the K&N Refresher Cabin Air Filter Cleaning Kit. They typically only need cleaning every 12 to 15,000 miles or once a year, but you can wash them more often if you'd like, and K&N backs them up with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. They come with easy-to-follow installation instructions so you can easily replace your old filter, usually in 5 to 10 minutes. Keep the air inside your car clean and fresh without continually burying and throwing away disposable filters. Find the K&N washable cabin air filter for your car or truck at knfilters.com. That's knfilters.com.
Reliability. It's what every driver wants from their vehicle. Regardless of make or model, you want your vehicle to take you where you need to go. Reliability is exactly what the Colorado Select Auto Care Centers offer. They've set the standard for excellence in automotive repair and maintenance. Each member offers Napa Auto Care Peace of Mind Warranty, along with the highest level of customer service and integrity. To find a Colorado Select Auto Care Center near you, log on to drive-radio.com or call 303-546-NAPA.
All right, good music from our producer today, engineer, I should say, Charlie Grimes. Appreciate that very much. Good music for a great, fantastic day that's coming up upon us. And those of you that are listening to this as a recording are actually in the 4th of July. So ask the question today, give us a great 4th of July memory. I mean, evidently nobody has any memories of 4th of July, guys. They're all great. I don't know which, but give me a story. 303-477-5600. Another new member that we have to the Colorado Select Auto Care Group, or here on Drive Radio, is Keeter Truck and Auto Repair, 6379 Valmont Road in Boulder. And the phone number is 303-442-2131. And what I will tell you is they specialize in the truck, SUV truck, heavy truck, medium duty truck. They'll even work on, farm equipment, excavators, things along those lines. So if you're up in that area and you've got a fleet, you've got a medium-duty truck that nobody else, you don't know where to take it, you're tired of going to the dealer, give Keeters a call, 303-442-2131. They've got a full shop able to handle anything along those lines whatsoever. And actually, I've been helping them out on the side, just getting some of their systems in place and different things. And it's really working really, really well. Good bunch of guys up there. You'll enjoy going in there. And then also I haven't talked much about this today, our broker, Isaac Bouchard, 303-475-1462. You can actually call him anything at all that you want. New cars, used cars, advice on a car, selling your car, anything at all. Give him a call and he will take care of it for you. 303-475-1462. All right, scan tools, code readers. Some people use that term synonymously. In fact, I would guess that the majority of the media uses that term synonymously. So let's start by saying this. They're not one and the same.
No.
A scan tool is not the same as a code reader. Now, they both read codes. A scan tool reads codes, and so does a code reader. And quite honestly, a decent code reader, not always, but typically speaking, will give you the same codes that a scan tool does. Like I just said, not always.
Yep.
And the reason for that is, it's a long story, but technology. The more money you pay for the scan tool, typically speaking, the better results and more information and more control you get out of the system itself. That's why a lot of shops even go back to the OEM scan tool to get all of the information that they need and controls and so on. A code reader is simply that. You hook it up, it will give you whatever code happens to be in there. And I will tell you from experience, it may not give you all of the codes that are in there. It may give you some, but it may not give you all of them. Some of them will allow you to actually clear the codes, which I would highly not recommend doing. I would highly suggest, I should say, you do not do that. You do not clear them, because once they're cleared, the next person trying to look at it doesn't have any idea what's going on. I've heard media say, you know what? You put that scan tool, you put that code reader, that scan tool in, you read the computer, you know what the codes are, you drop it off, you already know what's going on. You should already be one leg up on the technician at that point in time.
Yep.
Right, Jeff?
Wrong. I'm sorry. Even a high-priced scan tool in the wrong hands can be extremely dangerous.
Thank you. Thank you. It all comes down to the operator behind the scan tool, including an OEM scan tool.
Yeah.
If you don't have somebody that knows how to operate it, you could have the best scan tool made and still not get the diagnostic information out of the vehicle that you need. It's all there, but you need to know how to extract it. It's sort of like this. You have a problem with your new MacBook. And yeah, there's a few things you can look at on your own, but something's not working quite right. And unless you're a really, really solid diagnostician when it comes to that computer, you're typically going to go into Apple and go to the Genius Bar. They then go in and literally, typically speaking, use the exact same computer to extract the data they need to know what's wrong with your computer. Yeah. It's all right there in front of you. You just didn't know where to look and how to use the information you had. Scan tools are exactly the same way. The information is there. You just don't know what you're looking at. Is that the right way to say it?
Nah, I can't think of a better way. And the biggest thing is we use it every day. We have so many resources.
That's right.
That we count on. And I am adamant about self-checking myself as far as going back in on the data that we do find and comparing it online with some of the other problems and issues.
Got it. Let's go to Jim real quick in Denver. Jim, welcome. What's going on?
Oops. I have a 2001 Dodge Caravan Grand.
Okay.
And it's got, it's about 170, 180,000 miles on it. My wife drives it mostly.
Mm-hmm.
When she starts it up, she puts it in reverse, and the reverse seems to work just fine. But when she drops it into drive, sometimes it doesn't go. It's like in neutral.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll put it back into reverse and back up a little bit further, and then she can put it in drive. And most of the time, it'll take off and go. Other times, it may spin out, and it takes a while for it to catch.
Okay.
And I was just wondering.
There's a couple things I would look at on that one. One of them, I would look at the CVI index and see what's going on there.
Okay.
That's clutch volume index. And check fluid levels. Is it in a driveway that is slanted?
No, just slightly.
Okay. I would probably take it in and have it checked over, make sure it doesn't have any leaks. For whatever reason, that unit, in our experience, has been very prone to, if it's a little bit low, it can create a lot of problems. Sometimes you have to overfill them a bit. I don't know whether Dodge didn't get the length on the filler tube or the dipstick right, but sometimes we have had to overfill them to get them to work right on certain instances. But I would probably take a look at the diagnostic stuff that's available in that particular one and see what's going on. It could just be a filter change.
Okay. And isn't there something to do with a pipe? Is that clutch index, clutch fluid index?
CVI index, clutch volume index. And what that is that's an algorithm in the computer that it uses to tell how the computer adjusts shift points, shift quality, pressures, and stuff like that.
Back to that band topic we had earlier in the day.
The big thing that you got to remember is that a lot of places just do the service. But if on those particular units, if you don't do the service, then do a relearn procedure, you can have all kinds of funny shift and stuff that might not show up right away. But all kinds of things can happen with that. It's a pretty good system that's in there, but it's one that'll drive you mad trying to figure it out if you don't know what you're doing.
I'm off of Hampton and Yosemite. Do you have a shop close by?
We sure do. We've actually got 2 of them in your area. Go to drive-radio.com. We've got a Tilden in that area, and we also have TuneTech in the area. So either one of those could handle that for you.
Yep.
Tilden and what was the other one?
Tilden and TuneTech.
TuneTech.
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. We appreciate the phone call. Let's get one more call in here before we go to our break. Arnie, you've got a story for us about 4th of July. What's going on?
Yeah, no car stuff today. I got the Cavalier alternator replaced yesterday.
All right, good deal.
For 60 years ago, I would be 65 years ago, around 1950. Family went to South Dakota frequently in the summer because aunt and uncle lived right in Custer, by the Black Hills. Okay. It's a little small town.
Yeah.
And they had their 4th of July celebration, of course, with the parades and the fireworks in the evening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was festivities as part of the parade, because downtown Main Street is only about half mile long. So one of the real big deals was was a reenactment of the hanging of Fly Speck Billy. I can't ever forget that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Custer, South Dakota.
Very, very cool. Good story, Arnie. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for calling in so much. And Arnie's a very, very faithful listener. So, Arnie, thanks so much for calling in. We appreciate it very much. All right, with that, hour number 2 is over of Drive Radio. Hour number 3 is next. We have 8 more tickets that we're going to give away. So hang around. We'll give you the next question as soon as we come back. And, of course, more to come. Don't go away. We'll answer all your questions right here on Drive Radio. Jeff Kitty, John Rush, your host, KLZ 560.
I don't mind you coming here, wasting all my time. 'Cause when you're standing oh so near, I kinda lose my mind.
Still haven't had enough? Go to drive-radio.com. Email your questions and comments. Download previous programs and find lots of useful information, including your nearest Colorado Select Auto Care Center. That's drive-radio.com. Thanks for listening to Drive Radio, sponsored by the member shops of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers on KLZ 560.
Drive Radio is a presentation of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers. The independently owned and operated shops of Colorado Select hold each other accountable for the highest standards of technical expertise, honesty, and professionalism. They all understand that choosing a mechanic is risky business. So Colorado Select was created by this exclusive group of like-minded professionals who are dedicated to raising the level of consumer confidence in Colorado's auto repair industry. Schedule your next oil change at any of the Colorado Select Auto Care Centers heard on Drive Radio, and you'll immediately see the difference. For the complete list of all the member shops in the state, visit drive-radio.com.
Ignite your love for God and country and let your patriotic passion fly at the Brakes Plus Jet Car Nationals and Family Festival on Saturday, the 4th of July at Bandimere Speedway. 300-mile-per-hour jet cars screaming down the track can only be topped by a salute to our troops. And the spectacular fireworks display choreographed to inspirational and patriotic music. The Family Festival begins at 3 p.m. with rides, inflatables, games, and contests for the kids. And, of course, exciting drag racing throughout the day. This year, the live musical entertainment includes a battle of the bands, all competing for a chance to open for Christian superstars Skillet at this year's Heaven Fest. Celebrate America's birthday with KLZ at the 2015 Jet Car Nationals and Family Festival, Saturday, the 4th of July at Bandimere Speedway in Morrison. Make sure you stop by the KLZ booth and say hi. To buy tickets and for parking information, go to bandimere.com. It's the 2015 Brakes Plus Jet Car Nationals and Family Festival on the 4th of July at Bandimere. Don't miss it.
Freedom, liberty, truth. KLZ AM 560, KLZ HD Denver. Listen live at KLZ560radio.com. KLZ 560.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the
It's a mighty fancy automobile. Oh, she's a real road king, all right. 0 to 60 in 7.5. She'll do a quarter of a mile, 13.40. 390 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque. Whatever that is. Performance and image, that's what it's all about.
There's no such thing as a stupid question. This is Drive Radio. All of your automotive questions are just one phone call away. 303-477-5600. Drive Radio is made possible by the member shops of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers. To find one near you, go to drive-radio.com. Now, Drive Radio on KLZ 560.
And I am your host, John Rush. Drive Radio, KLZ 560. Jeff Kitty from Larry's Automotive and Transmission is in studio with me today. And we're going to take your calls. We got one more hour left. We're going to give 8 more tickets away to the event you just heard a commercial for. We're going to give 8 more tickets away. So here's the question of the hour. Did any U.S. presidents die on the 4th of July? And if so, how many? Did any U.S. presidents die on the 4th of July? And if so, how many? That's the question. We have 8 more tickets to give away this hour. And as you heard from that last ad, there's lots of things going on that day.
Yeah.
It's not just the jet car thing. It's everything. So Bandimere Speedway, big family day. It's the Jet Car Nationals and the Family Festival. That is on July 4th. We have 8 more tickets to give away. So call me and let me know how many U.S. presidents died on the 4th of July. That's really the question. 303-477-5600. We also will take any calls, anything related to the automobile or stories about 4th of July. What's your favorite 4th of July memory? Also wanted to mention, I didn't do this last hour, Paul Leuenberger, American National Insurance. He also has a little sideline to that called Chrome, which they do insurance for specialty cars.
Mm-hmm.
Paul will insure anything, and I mean anything. Boats, motorhomes, cars, trucks, off-road vehicles, utility vehicles, snowmobiles, ski-doos, which they probably don't call anymore, jet skis, all that stuff, watercraft, all of those things Paul will do, plus your home. And I will tell you, from having him as my agent now for the past year plus, I've saved money to the tune of about, on my homeowners, about 40%. It's a big number, big number. So whatever you've got, Paul will insure it. And we're going to get him on here in the very near future. He's trying to work out a Saturday where he can come in. He works a lot of the car shows right now. But if you need anything insurance-wise, which all of you do because everybody driving has to have insurance. That's state law. 303-619-9891. The other thing Paul does is make sure that you're not overinsured or underinsured. And most people driving today are underinsured. And then on top of that, Phoenix Weaponry, 1840 Skyway Drive up in Longmont. Their phone number, 720-340-2496. It's phoenixweaponry.com. You can get a fully customized, should say custom, AR-15, not an off-the-shelf unit, but a custom AR-15 for less than $1,000. That's a pretty good deal. I shouldn't say pretty good. That's a very good deal for a, literally, custom AR-15 that will outshoot any of its competitors. Go up there, check it out, and then, of course, they'll build you anything you want. They do custom gunsmithing, anything at all that you need. Phoenix Weaponry, 1840 Skyway Drive. Tell them John Rush, Drive Radio sent you, 720-340-2496. Wayne, you're up next. What's going on?
Hey, well, I have the answer to your question about the presidents.
Let's hear it.
That was Adams and Jefferson. They died on the same day, July 4th.
They died on the same day. And there was one other one also.
Oh, there was. Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
That's all right. You got 2 out of 3. That's pretty good. That's not bad. That's good. So how many tickets do you want, Wayne?
You know what? Pass the tickets on to somebody else. I can't get to them and use them.
Okay. All right. So those of you out there listening, you already know now what the answer is. So Wayne, thanks so much for calling in. I appreciate it very much. Any other questions?
No, sir. I got
All right.
it all handled.
You're a good man, Wayne. I appreciate it very much. So you know the answer now. We've still got 8 tickets to give away. Call us. Tell us what you need. If you got the answer, give it to us anyways. We'll get you on air and we'll give you some tickets. Now, I will say this also. Some of you are really shy about coming on air. I get that. Okay. If you're one of those and you still want any of these 8 tickets, call us. Larry will take that off air, 303-477-5600. Dennis, you're up next.
Okay.
Hello, Dennis.
Hello.
How are you doing, sir?
Good. Calling for them tickets.
Yes, sir.
So is Adams, Jefferson, and Monroe.
There you go. You got it right. All 3. So how many tickets do you want, Dennis?
Just 2 would be good.
Just 2. All right, Larry, I'm going to put you on hold. Larry can get your phone number and address and all the things that we need to make sure we get you these tickets properly, Dennis. So thanks so much for calling in. Anything else you got for us, or is that it?
No, actually, I called you guys several times in the past, but today I have nothing. So I appreciate
that's actually a good day then. Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Appreciate it, Dennis, very much. All right, back on hold. Larry can handle Dennis. We've got lines open, 303-477-5600. We're also looking for some 4th of July memories. Now, most of us involved, eating and more eating and fireworks and usually some eating.
That's
just kind of the way it works.
Best ones seem to be around family and friends.
That's right. That's right. We sort of have a deal at our house where we have people over, we barbecue. You can sit up from my house and actually watch several different fireworks shows go on around us where you don't really ever have to leave. And we just sit out with lawn chairs and hang out, and it works out really, really well. So, if you want any of these tickets, we've just given away 2. If my math is correct, we have 6 left.
6 left.
So give us a call. We'll get you right on air, or just call Larry and ask him for tickets, and we'll make sure we get you these tickets, 303-477-5600. So we started that ended that last segment talking about scan tools. One of the things I want to make sure that we're fully getting across here is that just because you have a scan tool or a code reader and you plug it in and you get the code, that doesn't mean that's what's wrong with the car.
Yeah.
It's an indication of a direction to look in the car, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's exactly what's wrong with the car.
It's a diagnostic tool.
Right. So, in other words, an O2 sensor code pops up. Just because an O2 sensor code pops up doesn't mean that it needs an O2 sensor.
No.
It could mean any number of other things that are causing that O2 sensor code to come up. So Bob's got a 4th of July story. Welcome, Bob. What's going on?
Hey, good afternoon to you guys. Faithful listener.
Thank you.
I was born in Greeley sometime in the last century anyway, and grew up on a farm by Greeley. Every 4th of July, we would always go down, watch the parade. I still can't get over it. John Phillips, those songs just made your heart go boom, boom, boom. The big old Clydesdales and the Percherons coming down there and pulling their wagons and throwing the candy out. I mean, I grew up loving that. And then in the afternoon, my folks always bought me tickets to the Stampede. I don't think we called it the Stampede then. After a while, we did. But I always went to the rodeo and watched the rodeo and grew up doing that.
Yep.
And that's the neat thing about Bandimere. I spend my summers up here in Colorado, and I always try to make the Bandimere thing. They've got the best fireworks display. You can see it all over the city.
They do.
The jet cars are unbelievable, and I just love it. And I especially appreciate them honoring the military. I'm a former Marine, too, and it's really great that they do that for us. But, hey, it's a great time and a great place to be alive.
Oh, boy, you're so right.
All those tickets, Diddy?
No, we still have some left. You want some tickets, Bob?
Could I get 2 of them, please?
You sure can. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll put you back on hold. Larry will get you a couple of tickets. We've got 4 left after that, so I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to go to our next caller, which he's getting lined up right now as we speak. Sorry, Larry's actually on the phone as we speak. So I tell you what, I'm going to put one on hold real quick, and we'll let Larry catch both of those here in just a second. So let's do this. Tell you what, we're close enough to a break, Charlie. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll take a couple more calls. By then, Larry will have one of these cleared up, or we got a line open.
Hunting down that heart.
And we'll be right back. Don't go away. John Rush Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
Hunting down that hard-to-find part for an out-of-the-ordinary car can be quite a time.
Sorry, John. I was listening to Larry here and you and
Parts store, where we have over 310,000 parts, all of them made
I jumped the gun.
just like the original.
Yeah. Phone won't stop ringing in here.
Not the destination, but those people have never tried to find an alternator for an 82 Fiat on a Saturday. Go to NapaOnline.com for the location nearest you. Napa, get the good stuff.
Gino's Auto Service in Littleton is your go-to service shop for all your car care needs. After 32 years in business, Gino's has recently expanded and to celebrate is offering a $69.95 alignment special with the mention of this ad. By getting your vehicle aligned, you're ensuring proper wear and longer life for your tires. Gino's is AAA approved and offers courtesy vehicles while your car is being serviced. They are conveniently located at Bowles and Platte Canyon in Littleton. Visit them online at genosautoservice.com.
Arvada West Auto wants to help you get the best fuel mileage you can. Approximately 3.5 million gallons of gas a day are lost due to underinflated tires. There are many things we can do to help you boost your fuel mileage, and most of it comes down to basic maintenance. No one likes to spend money on unplanned repairs. Let Arvada West Auto and Truck do what they do best. Keep your vehicles running at peak performance. From tune-ups to wheel alignments, they've got you covered with a 3-year or 36,000-mile warranty on most cars. On the web, visit ArvadaWestAutoandTruck.com or call 303-422-1065. Arvada West Auto and Truck, where every question is important. Located on West 64th Avenue between Ward Road and Sims.
We breathe dirty air every day, and believe it or not, the air you breathe inside your vehicle can be even more polluted than the air outside. Thankfully, many of the vehicles sold today are equipped with a cabin air filter to help keep the air inside your car clean. If you are driving a car with a dirty or clogged cabin air filter, not only are you breathing dirty air, but it also puts a strain on your car's HVAC system, decreasing its performance and longevity. K&N, the inventor of washable automotive air filters, has applied its decades of high-flow, washable air filter design to cabin air filters for cars and trucks. These robust filters clean and freshen the air coming into your car's interior and are electrostatically charged to hold dust and dirt. They feature a pleated filter media that helps capture most mold, mildew, fungus, spores, bacteria, germs, pollen, and other allergens, while still allowing a high volume of airflow. They are strengthened by a custom design frame for a great fit and years of use. Best of all, K&N cabin air filters are washable and clean up easy with the K&N Refresher Cabin Air Filter Cleaning Kit. They typically only need cleaning every 12 to 15,000 miles or once a year, but you can wash them more often if you'd like, and K&N backs them up with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. They come with easy-to-follow installation instructions so you can easily replace your old filter, usually in 5 to 10 minutes. Keep the air inside your car clean and fresh without continually burying and throwing away disposable filters. Find the K&N washable cabin air filter for your car or truck at knfilters.com. That's knfilters.com.
All right, here we go, Drive Radio. John Rush Rose, KLZ 560. Bruno is up next. He's got a story for 4th of July. Bruno, welcome. What's going on today?
Yeah, it dates me back, but what the heck?
That's okay.
It was back in 1976, a firecracker Daytona 400. And I had a ticket for the pits. I was not further away than 30 foot from the guys checking in, getting fuel and new tires put on, and it was a real fierce battle of Peter Gregg was still alive, racing the BMWs, the 2.0 CSL with a real fancy real stabilizers against Camaros. And guess who won?
No idea.
The Camaros.
Really?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Peter Gregg killed himself at the beach 2 years later. Even he was the only one besides Murray BMW, who had the Mercedes and BMW dealership at those days.
Interesting.
Yeah. He
Interesting.
stepped in front of a bus and never...
Oh, boy. Not good.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, it was fantastic. The roar of the cars coming in, it was out of this world.
Yep. Yeah,
and
good for
people
you.
in the air, man, oh man.
Good for you. That's very, very cool.
4th of July is definitely a noisy holiday.
Yep.
Yeah. Can I still go for some tickets?
Of course you can, Bruno. How many do you want?
How many are left?
I have 4 left.
Okay, I'll take them.
Okay. Hang on. Time. Yeah, you know what? I've got enough. We have enough. Bruno, I'll put you on hold. That gets us over our allotment, but I've got enough kicking around the station. We'll make that work. Don't worry. Let me put you on hold. We'll let Larry get all of your info so I can send you those tickets. Not a problem, Bruno. We'll make that work. So hang tight. Larry's actually screening calls and getting things done for us as we speak. 303-477-5600 is our number. As soon as somebody drops off, one thing I want to add, and I haven't had a chance to do this lately like I should be, our new car reviews. We have a ton of them, not necessarily on our website, but there's a link from our website to YouTube, because about a year, it's been longer than that now, year and a half ago, I started, instead of writing the reviews, doing video reviews. It's just, easier for me. I'm a talker. I'm not a writer. It's easier for me to walk around, point things out, explain what's going on with the vehicle. All of our videos are on YouTube at our Drive Radio channel. So literally, you just go to YouTube, in the search bar, type in Drive Radio, all one word, and it will take you to our, actually uploading one as we speak, it will take you to our page where we have, I believe, about 280 or so reviews. Now, on that channel, it's not just car reviews. We've got interviews with K&N, which, by the way, fantastic facility. Anything you need K&N wise, air filter, oil filtration. They do a ton of stuff. Some things I really can't even talk about because they do some exhaust and other things. So K&N, fantastic company, cold air intakes, you name it. They've got the goods, and you can find them at knfilters.com. But we went through, toured their facility, did that about a year and a half ago, roughly, and went through their R&D. All of that is on our YouTube channel. Along with that, I also got to tour Universal Oil, one of our oil suppliers here inside of Colorado Select, and went through and actually saw how they actually re-refine oil and then put that back out into the marketplace. It was actually a fantastic interview. A lot of great things in there when it comes to oil, longevity, all those different things. But again, a lot of cool stuff that we have on our YouTube channel. I don't mention that enough. And I'm driving vehicles all the time. For example, last week I drove the new Lexus RCF. It's their $70,000 sports car. Runs like a you-know-what. I mean, the thing just flies. Fantastic braking, great control, the different modes. And this goes back, Jeff, to what we talked about earlier with the computerization and the way we do things today. It's got a Sport Plus, regular, Eco. You put that thing in Sport Plus, and I tell you what, it is a rocket. The car was absolutely a blast to drive. I'll get that video edited, get that up for you this week. So again, all of those things are up there. We drive a lot of new cars. I encourage you, go there, check it out. It gives you a real good indication of what you need to be looking at. Let's go to Troy, who's up next. Troy, welcome. What's going on, sir?
Hello. Appreciate your shows.
Thank you, sir.
Got a question about a 2010 Ram pickup. I called you a couple of weeks ago about it sounded like a relay ticking on the left side of the steering wheel.
Yes. I remember that.
And I, did the best I could to be a contortionist and crawl up underneath there. And the only thing I could find was the brake controller. So I unplugged the brake controller, the integrated brake controller.
Yes.
And it stopped.
Ah, well, so there you go.
I'm kind of concerned that if I have to replace that brake controller, they're kind of spendy. And they talk about when you replace them that you have to take them back to the dealer to have them reprogrammed.
Well, or somebody that has a scan tool with the ability to reprogram it has to do. What they're saying is when you install that, it has to be reprogrammed to accept that controller. That's correct.
Okay, because I don't really like going to the dealer for service. I'd rather go to a like.
We don't like you going there either.
No.
Yeah, so I was curious. Can I go to one of your garages and have this done?
You can. In fact, in Thornton, do you guys have the Chrysler Star Tool or not?
No, we have.
Okay. So you need to go to, for right now, until Jeff and these guys get theirs, bought, handled, and done. Go to Arvada West, not too far from you in Thornton. Dorsey at Arvada West can program that, put that, get that put in, make it all work right.
Okay, good.
And he's very, very familiar with what we're talking about. Yep. That's a piece of cake.
All right. Okay, good deal.
Okay. Yep.
And then I guess my most memorable 4th of July, unfortunately, my wife had to remind me of this, was when our daughter was born on 4th of July 20 years ago.
That is a good memory. Yes.
Yeah, so it was a little different.
That's pretty cool, actually, having a baby on the 4th of July. Good for you.
Yeah, 4 o'clock in the morning we got started.
Very good for you. That's awesome. How old is she now?
She'll be 20 this year.
Awesome.
There you go.
Well, good for you. That's a good experience. Good job.
All right.
Hey, great. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate that very much. Let's go to Ken, who's up next. Ken, welcome to Drive Radio. What's happening today?
Hey, John. I've got a 95 Honda van.
Okay.
and we're going to be on a little trip later on, and I need to have it checked over just to be sure that it's not going to break down. It's $150,000, very good vehicle.
Okay.
I was wondering, I have other questions, but I was wondering if there's someone up here in LaPorte, Fort Collins area that you might recommend to have it just checked over.
Most definitely. Go to our new shop that we have up there. It's Community Auto. Fantastic facility. You'll love it the minute you drive up, and I'm not exaggerating. It's actually an owner that's owned the business for a very long time. His daughters are now running the facility. They've got great technicians, and I tell you what, when you walk in, it's as neat as a pin. Everything is just where it needs to be. You'll thoroughly enjoy it. They're at 1925 South Timberline.
Okay.
Okay, and at the web address, if you want to go online and look them up, it's communityautoinc.com.
Okay, and John, I have another question. You were talking about the insurance, and you were talking about your experience with car, possibly property, probably home insurance, probably
yes.
Who would you would recommend up here in Fort Collins area?
The guy that does my stuff, and he's a sponsor of Drive Radio, Paul Leuenberger. He'll drive up there. In fact, he's got people that are literally all over the state of Colorado. He'll drive right to wherever you're at. It's not a problem. It's Paul Leuenberger. It's American National Insurance, and his phone number is 303-619. 9891, and just tell him you listen to Drive Radio, and he'll take great care of you.
Okay, and John, I have one other quick question.
Sure.
You know, you come across on the radio, to me anyway, that I think you're a very honest person, and I think you're a very straightforward person. And I know you've been in a lot of businesses. I was wondering, you must have a broker, you must have a financial person that you can really trust. Maybe you could go on the program sometime and have kind of a short little financial program, and maybe you could recommend someone up in this area that I could go and visit with.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. I can do that for you. Be happy to do that. Yeah,
sure, it would be great.
I'd have no problem with that, Ken. And yeah, and just so you know, and I appreciate you saying that, by the way. I try to, one of the things I've always teach the people that have worked for me, I've tried to raise my kids this same way. If you never lie, you never have to worry about what you said.
Yep.
That's right. That's very correct, John.
So that's what I've tried to live by. I've tried to teach my kids, my employees, the exact same thing. We try to run our businesses exactly that way. Does that mean we're perfect? Absolutely not. But if you stand up to whatever happens, and you just, you make it right at the end of the day, that's all that, that's all any of them can do. That's all I ask my employees to do, is just be honest, make it right. If there's a mistake. And to your point, when I deal with people, the people here on Drive Radio, for example, I wouldn't vouch for people that I wouldn't do business with myself, and that's the people that you're dealing with on Drive Radio.
Exactly.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much. And you're actually putting the customer ahead of yourself, his interest ahead. And you hear people talk about that, but I see very little evidence of it really happening. But John, you make an impression on your audience. I'm sure of that.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that very much, Ken. And again, thank you so much for your kind words. Have a great afternoon. Anything else you need, Ken, or is that it?
Well, if you can sometime mention your financial acquaintances.
I will do that.
I appreciate it.
I will be happy to do that. I'll do my best to do that. Thank you very much. I appreciate you calling in. Tell you what, let's take a quick break. Don in Arvada, hang tight. And Andy in Aurora, you've got a question on a trickle charge and a 4th of July story. We'll be right back. Don't go away. About a half an hour left of Drive Radio right here on KLZ 560.
At Arvada West Auto and Truck, we won't try to impress you with a waiting room with a big screen TV and lattes. What we will do is give you good service and expert repair. We pride ourselves in being interested in you and your vehicle. We stand behind our work with the power of Napa Auto Care and a 3-year or 36,000-mile warranty. And if needed, we do have a customer waiting area. Come see us at Arvada West Auto for all your repair needs. We are located at 11752 West 64th Avenue in West Arvada, or call 303-422-1065 for an appointment.
At Napa Auto Parts, we've been the most trusted name in auto parts for over 80 years. Probably because we've never stopped looking for ways to make the great parts we sell even better. It's a commitment to quality you'll find in every one of our 310,000 parts. From the bacteria-killing surface on our cabin air filters, to the patented damping mechanism on our drive-align belt tensioners, to our revolutionary new Adaptive One brakes. And Napa parts are covered by a warranty that's good at any of our 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores nationwide. Yeah, maybe you don't get this at your average auto parts store, but at Napa, we've spent the last 80 years making sure we were anything but average. To find the Napa Auto Parts store nearest you, go to NapaOnline.com. Napa, get the good stuff.
With over 125 locations in Colorado, southern Wyoming, and western Nebraska, there's only one place to get the good stuff. Napa Auto Parts.
This is Red Merrill for Phoenix Weaponry. Phoenix Weaponry is a weapon manufacturer that services the firearm enthusiast. From precision ARs to suppressors, Phoenix Weaponry can make your dreams come true. Phoenix Weaponry is a full-service gun shop that offers gunsmithing, coating, and modifications to your own weapon. Phoenix Weaponry, family-owned and operated right here in Colorado. If you can dream it, Phoenix Weaponry can build it. Call today, 720-340-2496. Again, that's 720-340-2496. Or visit their website, phoenixweaponry.com. Mention Sportsman of Colorado and receive 10% off your custom-built weapon.
Reliability. It's what every driver wants from their vehicle. Regardless of make or model, you want your vehicle to take you where you need to go. Reliability is exactly what the Colorado Select Auto Care Centers offer. They've set the standard for excellence in automotive repair and maintenance. Each member offers Napa Auto Care Peace of Mind warranty, along with the highest level of customer service and integrity. To find a Colorado Select Auto Care Center near you, log on to drive-radio.com or call 303-546-NAPA.
I got my first real 6-string, bought it at the 5 and dime.
All right, great music. Charlie Grimes, our engineer today. Appreciate him very much and all that he does around KLZ, not just here, but during the week. Wouldn't run without him, frankly. This place wouldn't, so really appreciate all that Charlie does. Our number, 303-477-5600. Lines are full. As soon as somebody drops off, give us a call. We'll get you right on air. All right, one last time. Great brand new sponsor to Drive Radio, and no, they're not a car place. But a lot of you out there have animals, cats, dogs specifically. Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center, new sponsor of Drive Radio. Their phone number is 303-708-8050. The web address is lonetreevet.com. The owners, Dr. Bill and his wife, Nancy Moyle, they've been longtime listeners of Drive Radio, supporters. I've actually emailed back and forth over the years. Didn't know that until the opportunity came where they wanted to jump in and actually be a supporter of Drive Radio. They want to help you care for your pets. That's the bottom line. They're certified by the American Animal Hospital Association. They recently earned their 3rd annual Gold Star rating with the Better Business Bureau. They are located at 8681 East Lincoln Avenue in Lone Tree, 1 block west of Yosemite on Lincoln Avenue, about a mile south of Park Meadows Mall. Again, lonetreevet.com. And as I said earlier, toured their entire facility, top to bottom. And you know, typically when you walk into a vet clinic, it's got kind of that smell and there's hair, and you know, you just kind of walk through and it just kind of gives you the sense that it's a vet clinic. When you walk in here, it doesn't feel like that at all. You walk in, it's like, wow, this place is, it like shines. I don't know how else to say it. You just walk in and it just glows, it shines. There's a huge waiting area, and they've done some really cool things. So when you walk in and you're trying to fill paperwork out for your dog, for example, you know, most places you've got to find somebody else to either hang on to the dog or you're wrapping it around your arm, and, you know, and if he or she's excited, you're trying to fill your paperwork out. Well, guess what they've done that's really kind of a neat idea? There's a little hook.
A hook.
That you can actually just put the leash on, and the leash won't come out. So, you know, in my case, Daisy, my dog, would just sit there on the leash while I'm filling out all of my paperwork without having to worry about hanging on to her while I'm doing all this other stuff. There's just little things like that all through this facility that just show you that not only do they care about you, but they care about your pet. So it's lonetreevet.com, 303-708-8050. 8050. Please make sure you tell them that. I know this sounds weird, but you heard them on Drive Radio. Yes, it's a vet clinic, but they understand that the majority of you that are driving have a pet, and they want to make sure that you care for your pet properly. Let's go to Andy, who's up next. Andy, welcome to Drive Radio.
Yeah, thanks. I got one question. I just bought a brand new 2015 Subaru, and unfortunately has all the bells and whistles, which I really didn't want, but you don't have any choice.
Nope, that's how they come now. You're right.
Know. Anyway, we have a small RV, and we usually go on trips. Maybe we've gone 2 or 3 months, and one of the service advisors said to use a trickle charge on the battery when I go, because I was afraid to disconnect the battery and then lose all the, electronic stuff.
Got it. And
so
and that's actually really, rather than actually unhooking the battery, whoever told you that gave you good advice, because having a trickle charger on it actually keeps the battery maintained, which means the alternator, everything else on the vehicle works less because you're maintaining that battery all the time.
Okay. So trickle charge, what would I be looking for in price?
Oh, you know what? Somebody emailed me this past week on that, and I did some looking on Napa's website, frankly, and you can buy a really good, what they call battery tender.
Okay.
That's the brand name. And literally, you can spend as much as $100 or as little as $25, depending upon how fancy you want to get.
Okay.
They're not very expensive.
I just want something to keep the battery going.
Yep. The one I priced out for somebody that called in, they're on special this month, and I think it was right around $30.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. So you just hook it on the battery itself, and does it have a...
Yeah, and that's where some of the prices change according to whether you want a permanent type of a fixture where you then plug and unplug, or if you want to just use alligator clips. That's kind of where the pricing changes as to how fancy you want to get with it.
Okay, so it's a battery tender.
Battery tender is the brand name, exactly.
All right, cool. All right, my story is I was born and raised in Boston.
Okay.
And we lived in a little town just outside called Charlestown.
Okay.
And it was about 10 blocks away from the Constitution, and we lived just up the street from the Bunker Hill Monument.
Wow.
Okay.
And we lived in a 3-story tenement house. In those days, I didn't know it was a tenement house. It was just home to me.
Right.
Yeah.
And all the families would get together and get up on the roof. We had a flat top roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bring chairs and stuff. And we could see the Boston Common and the Charles River from our rooftop.
Very cool.
Wow.
And every year we'd gather up there and it's one of the roof didn't cave in, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But we used to have food and drinks and everything else up there. And I never realized what a wonderful experience that was until after I grew up.
Yeah, that's right. Until you grow up and it's not there anymore. And now all of a sudden, wow, you just look back and think, gosh, if only we had those days back, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize what an opportunity that was to be so close to all that history.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
no, and you're right. That is rich in our American history.
Yes.
Yeah, Andy, good story. Thanks. And if you have any questions on that trickle charger, please email me and I'll help you out.
Okay, that was the next question. What's your email address?
It is John, John, at drive-radio.com.
John at drive-radio.com. drive-radio.com. Okay, John, thank you very
You're
much.
very
I really
welcome,
enjoy
Andy.
your show.
You bet. Appreciate it very much. Thanks so much for your faithfulness and for calling. Let's go to Don, who is next. Don, welcome. What's happening today?
Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
We're doing great, sir.
Good. Keep hearing that commercial about the cabin air filters. I've got a 2001 Nissan Xterra. Now, where's that at?
It depends. Not all vehicles have them nowadays. I would have to look up the Xterra, and my gut feeling is it probably doesn't have one.
Oh, okay.
If it does, they're typically over on the passenger side, over by where the air box is, and you typically access them from the inside of the car.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, next time I go into Dorsey's, I'll have them check
Yeah,
that.
they
if
can
there
actually
is
look
one.
it up and tell you whether you have one or not. On an 01 Xterra, SUV probably does not have one.
Okay. Yeah, because I never thought much about that till I keep hearing it on the radio, and I better check into that. Maybe it's something
And
I need.
they're becoming more and more popular. In fact, most vehicles today, now have one. Even some of the cars, even some of the trucks. Most trucks even have them now. But in those days, that's kind of when they were just starting to become more popular.
Mhm. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, of course.
On mine, on my Xterra, I've got the shifter on the floor for the four-wheel drive,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter's got the Durango has it on the dash.
Yes.
Is one any better than the other? If I was to go look for another car, can I still find that shifter on the floor?
Just depends on what you're doing with the vehicle itself. And let me explain what I mean by that. In my world where I'm actually out plowing snow, I prefer a truck that actually has the shifter on the column and not on the floor, because when I'm actually running all of my hands around trying to get everything done I need to do, moving the plow up and down and so on, it's much easier for me to actually have the shifter on the column than it is on the floor. Now, some people like it on the floor because it's kind of looks cool and all of that. The downside to a shifter in the console is you lose console space.
Yes.
That's the one downside they have. There's no mechanical advantage one way or the other. It's just some people like that column, that console shifter that kind of came out of the, no joke, it came out of the 60s and 70s when a lot of the hot rods had console shifters. And it's funny that now most of what you buy has a console shifter. I'm guessing that probably in today's world, because of everything we now have attached to the steering column, most of that has moved to the console because of all of the apparatuses on the steering column.
Oh, okay. When you get that, like my daughter's Durango, she has the thing on the dash. Says it's either 2 high or 4-wheel drive, something like that. And mine have 4 low, 4 high, 2 high, and all that good stuff. Correct. Does it have the same thing if I was to go buy like a truck with the shifter on the console like that?
Yeah, and most of the trucks now are done automatically with some sort of a dial or a knob on the dash itself where you actually shift it in and out of 4-wheel drive. That way, most trucks have gone away with lever shifting for the 4-wheel drive until you get into the heavier versions.
Yeah, I just use it in the wintertime for the snow, and I really like my Xterra because it's very good in the wintertime.
No, all the news. In fact, again, back to what I talked about with our reviews on YouTube. All of our reviews have all that. We go over all that stuff specifically when it comes to how the 4-wheel drive mechanisms work and so on.
Okay, well, I'll look at that, and I'll go with that.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay, thanks for your
bet.
information.
Appreciate it very much. Let's go to Mark in Aurora. You're next. Welcome to Drive Radio.
Howdy, John. Thank you very much, sir. Happy 4th of July to everyone.
Same to you, sir. Thanks for calling, Mark.
Hey, I know that's one of my favorite parts of your show, other than hearing all this technical advice, is the wonderful stories. And I kind of miss it when guys call in like, Arnie, dang, no good story today out of Arnie. So I feel half gypped here anyway. But that's all right. Anyway, what I miss about 4th of July these days is, doggone, the PC guys have made all the fireworks illegal, and I no longer hear them anymore. The other day, a guy in a body shop over by my bat cave shot off a bottle rock, and I thought, wow, I haven't even heard it. It just brought back all those memories. Now,
you're like me. When I hear them go off, even around my neighborhood, I don't get mad and call the cops. I'm like, hey, guys, let's do some more. I mean, I actually, I'm like you, Mark. I like seeing them.
Yeah.
And they've been, I don't know how old you are, but I'm 50, and you know what? They've been outlawed in my lifetime for at least 30 years. Is that about right?
Yeah. Well, I that was one law. They were always outlawed around here, as far as I know, even when I was a boy back in the mid-late 60s. Unless you knew where to go in town, which we were white bread, we didn't know. You always had to go out of state to get those. And then, now my kids, I have to admit, I raised them again the law. I explained to them how they were illegal and everything, and then we made the trip up the pilgrimage to Wyoming, and we bought them and came back, and I explained to them all how it was illegal and what we were doing wrong and everything, and also explained the other side, what they meant to America, and the men died and sacrificed. These just represented the horrors of battle, and I painted up good. So you'll love this part of it. I didn't even think I'd get into this story. Anyway, so we're shooting them off on here, and I'm watching. Sure enough, around the corner, here comes a black and white, and I'm thinking, oh boy, here we go. And I announce right away, and the first thing the boys do is they turn around and hightailed it up the lawn and ran in the front door and went to hide. And I told them, no, you don't run and hide from the cops. And so the cop pulls up and he asks, do you know where those fireworks came from? And I told him, yes, sir, they came from Wyoming. And I went and got the boys and come down, and we stood up and we had a little lesson there, and the policeman explained, and I knew I was in big trouble, and I wanted the sons to see all what was going to happen. And the cop told me right there in front of the boys, that's a minimum $300 fine right there. And he let us go, but he actually wound up coming into the house, gave us a nice little talk. Afterward, my son, the oldest son, was still almost in tears to the point he couldn't understand that it was against the law to demonstrate our pride in what those soldiers had done. He just could not comprehend why that could be against the law.
Yeah.
And then let me give another quick 30 seconds. I'll tell you some other memories out there if any other people hightailed it up to Wyoming. There's a man I miss, and if anybody knows of this guy, one of the first places you'd spot coming across the line, it was called Crazy Charlie's Discount Fireworks.
That's right. Crazy Charlie's. Yeah. Remember that. Yep.
And one of the most god-awful pieces, in fact, the most god-awful firework I bought was off of that guy. It was the first time I drove up as an adult to Wyoming, and I spotted this. And then so I wanted the biggest bang. I thought, holy cow, this is like heaven for a guy like me. And I actually ran into Crazy Charlie. He was a hunchback type of character with a physical deformity and maybe some mental challenges as well. But boy, I clicked with that guy. I dealt with challenged kids as a school bus driver. I just love those types of people. Anyway, I told Charlie, man, I wanted the biggest, baddest bang, and he thought for a minute. He scratched his chin, and he had to look up at me. He was hunchback, and he had to look sideways to look up at you. And he rubbed his hands together. Oh, I got something for you. He said, I got something for you. And he went in this back barrel he had in the corner with full of junk, and he pulled out 3 of the biggest rockets on a stick. Bottle rocket doesn't do them. They were like 4 feet long. The stick itself was big as my finger was.
Wow.
And when I lit them things off in the backyard, it took, at least 10 seconds for them to develop enough thrust to even lift off.
Wow.
It would leave a big burn spot in your grass when you did that.
Wow.
And then they launched off a parachute at the end of which, and the first one was a good thing I did it in the daylight. I tried it, and it come down a half a block over in the neighbor's house, which I knew they were on vacation, came down in their wood pile and set that on fire.
Oh, boy.
So that was a lot of fun.
Oh,
but,
boy.
yeah, how I miss them old fireworks
that's great.
days.
That's great. Hey, Mark, good stuff. Got to run to break. Appreciate you calling in very, very much. We got a line open is all, 303-477-5600. Jay and Andrew both hang with us. We'll be right back here on Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
Reliability. It's what every driver wants from their vehicle. Regardless of make or model, you want your vehicle to take you where you need to go. Reliability is exactly what the Colorado Select Auto Care Centers offer. They've set the standard for excellence in automotive repair and maintenance. Each member offers Napa Auto Care Peace of Mind warranty, along with the highest level of customer service and integrity. To find a Colorado Select Auto Care Center near you, log on to drive-radio.com or call 303-546-NAPA.
We've all been there. You run to the hood and suddenly realize you don't have the parts you need. Or even worse, you don't know what parts you need. Well, at Napa Auto Parts, we have ASE certified parts specialists that'll make sure you find that right part. One covered by a warranty good at any one of 6,000 Napa locations. Yeah, finding the right part might not be easy, but fortunately, finding the right part store is. Go to NapaOnline.com for the location nearest you. Napa, get the good stuff.
This is Tilden Total Car Care, where life is about helping as many people as you can, as fast as you can.
A customer came in, single mom. Her car was curb checked by her son, and he just destroyed the front end of this poor car. It's the only car in the family. She's out $1,725 was the original estimate. One of the huge cost problems was there was a single part that we could not find in an aftermarket place. And my store manager at the Inglewood store, he's not satisfied with that. While the tech is working on other things on the vehicle, he finds the part, gets it for way less than what she would have had to pay for the brand new one from the dealer, and saves her $500. So she comes to pick up her car the next day. We had it done. She came to pick it up, saved the $500, unannounced to her, burst into tears. It was beautiful.
Tilden Total Car Care.
Help as many people as we can, as fast as we can. Pretty cool.
Federal at Bellevue or 6th and Peoria. Tilden Total Car Care.
Word of mouth is a great way to find professional references, but choosing an auto technician, it's one of those exceptions, unless that referral comes from another auto technician. Think about that for a moment. A referral from one competitor to another. Every Colorado Select Auto Care Center offers the industry-leading 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on every repair. The dealerships can't even match that. Find a Colorado Select Master Technician near you at coloradoselect.org.
The two most critical and complicated components of your vehicle are the engine and the transmission. The engine makes it run, and the transmission makes it go. Most repair facilities specialize in one or another. Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair does both, and they do both exceptionally well. Their technicians are ASE Master Certified, and the shop is A+ with the BBB, as you'd expect from members of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers. Larry's transmission experts are ATRA certified, so you can be confident that they know your transmission. Larry's is the rare combination of expert auto repair and the area's best transmission specialist. Your repairs are done faster, and it's far more cost efficient. Whatever you have under your hood, Larry's has it covered under one roof. Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Call and schedule your special attention KLZ 560 appointment today. 303-427-2108. 303-427-2108.
Saturday in the park, I think it was the 4th of July. Saturday in the park.
John Rush, Drive Radio, KLZ 560. Waiting for that line to show up there talking about the 4th of July. So that ended up being perfect. Good timing. Thank you, Charlie, on that. It's 12:49 in the afternoon now on this beautiful, fantastic Saturday afternoon. Jay, you're up next. You've been holding a while. What can we do for you?
Hey, I've got two Honda CRVs.
Okay.
One's a 99, one's an 08. They both have pretty high mileage. The 99's got about 160, 170,000. The 08's got about 150. The 99 has more city than highway miles, and the 08 has more highway than city. So
Okay.
a lot of miles. That's why they're about the same mileage, but they're 9 years apart.
Okay.
Immaculately maintained. So I took them, perfectly on service time and oil changes and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just wondering how much longer you think how much more I can get out of these cars.
A lot.
99, I've had the timing belt. I did that around 80, I think. So what do you think?
You've got a lot of miles left in both of them.
Yeah.
And the key to that is what you just said, well maintained.
Yeah. The 99, so yeah, that was my only concern. I mean, everything seems to be good. It's just like you don't think I'm going to have any kind of transmission or any other big issue, a brakes thing, the master cylinder, any that kind of stuff.
Well, you could, but with the maintenance that you're giving them,
just keep doing it.
You keep that maintenance up. It'll tell you when it's going to start giving you problems.
Keep the fluid clean. Keep doing the maintenance like you've been doing, and really, there's no reason why you can't just keep driving both those cars for quite some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say? Quite some time. What's your predictions on high mileage on these?
I've seen those CRVs. I'm not exaggerating. I've seen those CRVs go 400,000 miles easily. And my daughter actually worked for a company up in Canada that used those CRVs for delivery vehicles. And I'm not exaggerating. One of them did 1 million kilometers, which is around 750,000 miles.
Wow. Nice.
Okay.
Excellent.
So if that gives you any indication of how long they'll last, there you go.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I might have to put some money and do the timing belt on the 99 again. And I was like, before I put money into that, doing that, I wanted to kind of get an idea of how long it's worth it,
Right.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
You betcha.
Quick 4th of July memory.
Go ahead. No, you're fine. Go ahead.
No, the only one that I have that is just, I remember going out in a field as a kid with, the whole family, and we popped popcorn and put it into one of those big brown grocery bags.
Yep.
Which is this great, big, greasy thing of popcorn sitting on the field. Oh, I just love that.
That's good stuff. That's my mom used to do that, and we'd go to the drive-in. That was one of the best things we ever did, and really enjoyed that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, good stuff. Jay, enjoy your 4th of July. Enjoy the week ahead. Appreciate it very much. Andrew in Inglewood, what's going on?
Hey, just calling. I got a transmission problem on a 2000 Dodge Grand Caravan. So basically what it's doing is it'll go into first, and you can drive it in first all day. But as soon as it tries to shift, it kicks itself into neutral.
Okay.
And the only way to get it back to go back into drive is to shut the car off and turn it back on. And it also has no reverse.
Yeah.
So I was calling to see if it's just completely shot.
Well, it needs some work. I mean, you've got probably a total clutch failure.
All right. Yeah, I didn't know if there was something like, I know it's got the external solenoid. I didn't know if something messing up with that could cause something like this, or if it's just major internal damage.
I would say you've got major internal damage.
All right. So do you think it's better to try to get it rebuilt, or easier to just try to find a used one, or somebody
I'd
who already
rebuild
rebuilt
yours
one?
rather than a used one.
I would rebuild yours, because any used one you're going to find is probably going to be close to having the same issue you got.
And you have no idea of what the history is on that transmission you're buying on a used unit. None. Zero.
Right.
Exactly.
And your unit, you could typically, and not always, replace it or rebuild it cheaper than you could replace it with another new unit, typically speaking.
Yeah.
And on a 2000, that's the way I would go.
Yeah. Very easily.
Yeah, and then if I remember right, I read something after you do a rebuild on these. I know there's a lot of everything's computer controlled.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have to hook up a scan tool or the scanner and reprogram it.
It's not as bad in 2000, but yes, there is some electronics that need to be dealt with.
There's a relearn procedure that you have to do to set it up for the new clutches that were put in.
Right.
And it's not that big a deal.
But I have to get it to one of you guys to have you guys do that.
Yes.
Then.
Yeah, somebody that understands how to do that needs
somebody that knows what they're doing
That's
and
right.
do that. Yeah,
exactly.
All right, and then I got one other question.
Sure, go right ahead.
The clock spring on this thing, it went out, and I looked it up and I saw there's a recall on it. But I've never had recall work done. What's the easiest way to get that taken care of?
First thing to do to make sure that it's all covered is take your VIN number, call your local Chrysler dealer, and tell them, give them the VIN number and say, listen, I want to know if there's any open recalls on my vehicle, because there may be more than just that. Find out what's there, make an appointment, get it in, get it done, off you go. Piece of cake.
Okay, all right.
Really nothing to it. If there's a recall on it, there's no charge, there's no fuss. It's just a matter of getting an appointment, getting it in, and getting it done.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
You betcha, Andrew. Appreciate it very much. And do we have Scott now potted up? So let's talk to Scott Watley. He's actually broadcasting live today from the Goat and Sheep Hunter Education Seminar. What's going on, Scott?
Hey, John, we are at the Bighorn Sheep and Mountain Goat Hunter Seminar and Orientation held at the Wildlife Experience. About 300 to 400 of the luckiest people in Colorado are here, and that's about how many draw these tags. And we have met people that have waited 15 years, 25 years. I met one man that's waited 49 years to draw this tag.
Wow.
So it is amazing. So they're doing a lot of things here when you don't get to get out there very often to do this. A lot of orientation going on and just helping people, because, these are tough hunts where you have to go up to get these.
So is this
it's
something
a really neat.
Is this something that anybody from the public can go to, or did you have to actually draw a tag to actually be there? What's the scoop on that site?
This particular event was all those that drew the tag.
Okay. Got it.
Invited to this, yeah.
Got it.
So they're going over a lot of techniques, Division of Wildlife here, Colorado Parks and Wildlife, helping people and talking about common mistakes. So we're going to have a lot of guests on, taxidermy. What do you do when you kill something way up that high, and how do you take care of it?
Got it.
Data maps, and then a lot of other surprise guests. And I say that because I don't know who we're going to have. So we're going to interview a lot of folks
Scott's going
here.
to be ripping them off the floor, putting them on the air, and off we go.
Exactly.
That's all right.
Well, we appreciate it. And
likewise.
All Drive Radio listeners, hang on. We got a good show.
All right. Sounds great, Scott. Appreciate you calling in very much. And again, he's live broadcasting from the Goat and Sheep Hunter Education Seminar. Yeah, I first read that and I'm like, wait a minute, time out. Goat and Sheep Hunter Education. But now that he's explained it and what's going on, and I've been a hunter in my past and still do a little bit of that here and there. And I tell you what, everything he's talking about is very, very true. Some of those guys wait literally a lifetime of applying and accumulating points. They call it preference points to even be able to buy that license in the first place. So, very, very cool. So, yeah, stay tuned. Sportsman of Colorado will be up next. All right, guys, we got about a minute left is all. I think I got pretty much everything covered today. Just as a note, we will not be here live next Saturday because it is the 4th of July. And if you're listening and it's the 4th of July, thank you so much for listening. Hope you've enjoyed the show. It was a repeat of the previous week. And so Scott Watley, who was just on, will not be live at that event. But I think Scott's actually going to use a pre-recorded show also for his day. So I want to thank all of our sponsors, every single one of them. Napa Auto Parts being one of our biggest sponsor. K&N Engineering, they do their cold air intakes, air filters, oil filters, all the things that they have. And by the way, Napa Auto Parts, you can go to any one of the Napa Auto Parts stores here in town. And again, when you do, please mention that you listen to Drive Radio. That helps us. It helps you. It helps them know you're a part of our family. I want to thank Jeff Kitty, Larry Unger from Larry's Automotive and Transmission up in Westminster. And Jeff, we haven't done this much today. Give out your phone number.
303-427-2108. Please call ahead because we do have road construction in the area.
And they've been really busy right now, so make sure you call ahead, get your appointment made, go check them out. Phoenix Weaponry up in Longmont, go get your gunsmithing done there, get your custom AR-15 1840 Skyway Drive. And again, last but not least, a brand new sponsor to Drive Radio today, Lone Tree Vet. Find them at lonetreevet.com. The phone number 303-708-8050. Guys, have a great, fantastic 4th of July week. I'll be back Monday at 3 o'clock on Rush to Reason. I've been your host, John Rush. God bless you. We'll see you next week right here on KLZ 560.
Thank you.
Still haven't had enough? Go to drive-radio.com.